Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
Darkness.
And we reset everything, and it's still not doing anything.
Hello?
We got Mark on the phone.
Yeah, I would,
We restarted OBS. We unplugged and replugged in the camera. Do I need to find the source again, maybe?
yeah, no, I'll be down. I'll just head down there. I'll be there in just a minute.
Okay. Ours works.
Is it up now?
No.
No? Not any. Oh.
I made us happen, but when I try to get the one upstairs...
It's not.
Alright, I mean, we're plugged in down here. This is not... Unless someone has, like, picked
Yeah,
a
I
connection.
guess just talk to them since the booth camera worked.
Okay.
And just let them, and I'll be down in just a minute.
Alright. Cool.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
I just talk about World Order or something, I guess.
Sure thing. Jeez. Alright, everyone. We're trying to figure out some stuff on our end, so this is gonna be fun time with Greg. It's just going to be me in the booth until hopefully it's only about 10 more minutes until we can get the match covered. But this is the time in the chat where you can ask me whatever the hell you want, and I may or may not answer it. So fire away. I know Sasquatch always has questions, so if he wants to learn something, go for it.
Everything is very, very plugged in.
Okay.
Try going back to the match.
It's back? Yeah,
Oh, no.
so we can get... We're good in the booth.
Is it
We're
unchecked or is it still checked? Okay, it's still checked, so there's nothing there.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out getting the video down to the table. Sasquatch, it's bigger than you think. What else? What other things can we talk about? I don't know. Kyle's fiddling with the
I'm plugging it into
HDMI.
everywhere.
Yeah. Where do babies come from? The sea. What happened to the McManus boys? There's only one. Well, I guess the other... Well, he doesn't play Magic, but...
I showed him how once, but it didn't work.
Didn't stick.
Are we lagging now?
Mm-hmm.
Ha ha ha! I win. Hold on.
That ain't so good.
Oh, come on.
Hey, everyone. How's that look for you?
Is it still really laggy? Because it certainly looks that way for us.
Yeah. It looks like one picture. It looks like a picture.
I made the image come back,
The
but
connection up stopped.
I went up there
It was loose.
and pushed it in more a second ago.
It was definitely loose.
Well, it's still bad.
Okay.
I switched it over there. I switched it back. I can put it back in one of these side ones.
Okay.
And uncheck it.
Yep.
And check it again. What? No.
Check booth.
Get out of the booth, yeah.
This is the right camera.
No, it's gonna be different
Yeah.
because I just unplugged it.
Huh? No. There. Ah. Okay.
Magic touch.
Got it.
Okay. Bye, guys.
All right. See ya. Okay, so we're in it. I think they're in game 2. We're
Yeah.
not 100%.
They're in game 2.
It looks like some sort of Thopter.
Yeah. Looks like Esper control.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get this.
This looks
information.
like Chris Anderson's deck from Indianapolis. He was playing Esper control.
10, Collins at 18.
Okay.
Okay.
Bob won game 1. They are in game 2.
Okay.
Okay, so we got. You said Collins at 18 and Bob's at 10.
He's probably at 8 now because I just saw an Ancient 2 get tapped.
Sure.
All right.
All right.
You keep talking.
Sorry, everyone. We're just trying to catch up with the game. This looks like a fairly favorable position
Who
for
won
Bob
game 1?
overall.
Bob?
Bob did.
Seems like it would. It seems like a very good matchup for Painterstone here.
Yeah, not having much of a clock out of the Esper side, and also not having, he probably really doesn't have a lot of artifact destruction. Like, I guess Swords to Plowshares is really good against Bob, but that only goes so far. Also,
I wouldn't call it really good. I mean, it's 1-to-1. It's 1-for-1, and they can turn all your land off.
yeah, but it also exiles, so like Goblin Welder is less useful then.
Correct. Yeah, that does make Goblin Welder a lot worse.
Outside of that, Sasquatch asked me in the comments if I ever want to go to Milwaukee and elope. I wasn't aware that was like a thing that people did. I didn't know that was like Milwaukee's role.
Wait, is there
to
an
be
E
played.
in that? There's not an E in that, is there? I think it's just that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
Well, isn't there only one? There are only 2 B's, I think, in Boba.
That was a BOBA.
I think so.
Dang it.
The Star Wars experts in the chat can confirm that for us.
I think I got it. This time.
Yeah, I think that's right.
All right, so we can actually talk about what's going on in the match now. Although I imagine their life totals are much different than they were a second ago. Bear with us, guys. Life totals may not be
I
correct.
think he's at 6 now, because he just tapped the other Ancient Tomb. But his life total is...
I think he's probably at 4.
he might
Because
be.
he'd already tapped one. We'll assume that Bob is at 4.
Okay. He very well could be.
So Bob's got the combo. He just can't activate it.
So he's going to try to Swords.
He's got the counter for his counter, but he has
Force.
He has Force, although I'm wondering whether or not Colin knows that he could. I don't know what that other card in his hand was. I feel like it was worse than the Kill All Creatures spell. Oh, it was a Thopter. Or, sorry, the Sword of the Make. Because he could have just pitched that to Force of Will there, because the...
Yeah, I guess he
Painter
wanted
wasn't
half of his
play.
combo.
Yeah. It's just a very slow win.
So Bob went up to 5 there, and Colin went down to 17.
Yep, and then it looks like Bob's falling to 4 upon activating a fetch land. Nope, he just played it. Never mind, he's at 5.
So what is he really looking for at this point?
Well, at this point, realistically, Bob can probably just start hitting him with the old Imperial Recruiter.
Yeah.
Colin really doesn't have any threat at all. And like anything that he would play that would help him win here is
if he just like draws Sword of the Meek, or
but that's not even,
he has Sword, right?
yeah, he has
in
to
hand?
draw a Thopter Foundry, but the
Yeah.
issue here is that Bob's holding a Red Blast in his hand.
Oh, that's gross.
So there really isn't there isn't a good answer to what's going on right here for Colin, because he threw away his Destroy All Creatures spell. Not to say that's not a defensible call. It just means that he's going to have to face the attacks of this Imperial Recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Bob has an Ethersworn Canonist in his hand. Probably not something that he really wants to stick on the board just yet. Although that does mean that his Red Blast on any blue cards that Colin draws will go uncontested, which is very nice.
I think Colin probably held the Sword because he feels like he needs to assemble his combo. Like, he doesn't know that Bob has another Red Blast.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
he
it's
just used one.
he likely feels like he just has to do something.
Yeah, he needs some pressure, and that's one of the few cards in his deck that applies pressure.
Yeah, like basically the only card.
Yeah, pretty much. I think sometimes they play some Jaces, I think, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, and in a deck full of Red Blast, Jace is not great.
Ooh, dig through time. This is good. I think Bob's probably gonna Red Blast it.
That seems very Red Blasty.
Yeah. Or Pyroblast, sure. Why
Sure.
not?
One of those cards.
It's Black Border.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Bob just needs to stop Colin from doing anything while he hits him for 1 a lot of times.
Yeah.
No, that's basically his name, Johnny Turbo. We just dossied it up a little bit.
Yeah. His real name is Bob Agra.
So, basically Boba Fett.
He's Boba Gra.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So, we have found perhaps one of the best dual lands from that cycle.
Yeah. The
And-
much beloved plateau.
Yes, oh no.
So Blood Moon seems really
We got a
good here.
Blood Moon incoming,
I
and
mean-
I think he can pretty much lock the game out.
Well, he cuts Colin off of everything but blue.
Correct, but Colin needs black or white to be able to cast Thopter Foundry.
Yeah, I mean, what, he might have a singular basic plains.
It's very likely that he has some number of basics, yeah.
He might not have any basic swamps. Because he's mostly a blue-white deck.
Bob goes to 3.
You know, there's no danger.
Wondering what happened to Bob to make his life so low. Is it just Ancient Tomb?
Yeah, drawing 2 Ancient Tombs.
Yeah.
Like, he's the aggressor. It really, like... I mean, I guess Colin making any amount of Thopters...
Oh, did he shuffle away that Blood Moon?
Yeah, I guess he didn't want it.
Interesting.
I would have thought that maybe he would leave it and draw just the Blood Moon and then... Well, that takes 2 turns off of the clock. I thought he was gonna maybe like draw the Blood Moon and then crack the fetch after that, because it seemed like an okay card to draw.
I mean, I don't know that he necessarily needs multiple white, so I guess he wouldn't have any white sources.
Well, he's just gonna get Painter Servant here, win the game.
Well, the concern here is that he it better win him the game.
Is he not casting it?
Probably not. I don't think he can't.
He can't activate it all in one turn.
No.
Play and activate.
No, he is
Sure.
down a mana to be able to play and activate.
So I guess there's
and
not
he can't
much
play and
reason to
activate
wait.
with both Ancient Tombs
Right.
because you'll die.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess that's another reason why Blood Moon would be good, because it would turn the Ancient Tombs into lands that can tap for mana.
Yeah.
This is a dig.
Oh, okay. So let's see what we find in this dig here.
Is this at the end of Bob's turn?
Presumably.
Do you think he plays any sort of like disenchant
I
effects?
think he has found the. No, it's a Baleful Strix, a Force of Will, a Spell Pierce.
I don't know what that black card was. Is that Entomb?
Maybe
It looks like Entomb.
I can't. I mean, I see that it costs 1 black mana.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh crap!
I'm not sure what it is.
I forgot. How do which? No, this one.
Yeah, we'll just have to start time on the
Yeah.
next one because we don't know.
All right. Yeah, we can just leave it alone. This one's
Yeah,
not gonna
just
go to
click over
time.
There you go.
Oh crap!
All right, so we got a spin at the top. Oh, that must have been on Colin's main. Was that in his main phase? It must have been.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, I guess if he had been able to find.
So he
Okay.
kept Force
of
Blue
Will.
card.
Yeah.
So Colin drops down.
And then he gets hit for
2 as
well. So he's down to 10. Bob has doubled his clock via the second Imperial Recruiter.
Yup, and it looks like he's going for an artifact or enchantment here. Likely just the Painter's Servant,
Yeah.
since he just wants to win this game. The concern here is that it looks like Colin has drawn another Force of Will, which he can hardcast.
Ugh. God, what a mess.
I mean, at this rate, Bob's just gonna kill him with the Painter or with
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Imperial Recruiters. So, I mean, we'll see what happens here.
The
I
matchup
mean,
seems tough.
I think that Colin, is kind of hard pressed to win this one.
He has to expend too many resources just stopping Bob. Really.
Yeah, that's one of the nice parts about the Painter Grindstone combo is that it is very low to the ground.
Another 2, Colin down to 8.
Barring Colin drawing his other combo piece,
Brainstorm.
he is kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Swords to Plowshares, Tundra, and a Flooded Strand.
All right.
He has
so he's-
given up on Sword of the Meek. It is going back into his library here.
Interesting.
We'll see if he draws it next turn or if he elects to
Correct.
fetch
Yeah.
to try to find something.
Blood Moon seems okay.
Yeah, I think you just cast that if you're in Bob's seat here.
Yeah.
Blood Moon resolves.
Colin can fetch here.
I think
so he's gonna sword and respond.
he's swordsing 1.
Sure.
Bob goes back up to 4.
And yeah, and then he's fetching.
And then he does fetch.
Presumably he has no planes.
He wanted to trade that mountain for a mountain.
Well, he can shuffle.
Yeah, I guess he knows he doesn't want to draw that Sword of the Meek, so.
Yeah. Although at this point, I don't really know what he does want to draw.
I don't either, to be honest. I mean, he's kind of in a tough spot here. He, I guess his best draw is something that kills this other Imperial
He could draw
recruiter.
Jace and bounce recruiter, but then Bob replays it and gets Painter Servant and kills him.
Well, that or just gets more recruiters.
Sure. Is that being set to 0 for Thopters? Okay.
I guess so, yeah. If
That's
he
a
gets
mountain.
if he gets Thopters out,
Ooh, doubling the clock with a Goblin Welder.
so he's at 5 now.
Yeah. Someone, CPT in the chat asks that I think we misnamed the deck. It's supposed to be Strawberry Shortcake.
I do not know where that came from.
I might just start calling Bob Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh, is that something that Mark randomly called it at some point?
I think Bob has called it that, too.
Because it's red with a little white on top.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. Well, Boba Fett victorious.
Yeah, we saw a lot of magic that round.
Right. Thanks for bearing with us, guys. We
can
made
kick
it
it.
through the first round here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and toss us back up here.
Kick it back to the booth. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
But we are back with you now.
I contributed in no way to fixing that, so you're welcome.
Oh, yeah, they did write Strawberry Shortcake on that piece of paper here.
Do you want to read through...
Yeah, so the decks for tonight, we just saw the Esper Thopters and Strawberry Shortcake. We got someone who I do not know playing elves. There's a lands player, so hopefully we can keep them off camera. What else do we have? What does that say? These words are illegible. Bum?
Burn?
Oh, okay, burn, sure.
No.
That might say burn, yeah. It says bum or it says burn, I think. That's burn.
It might be bug, I don't know. It's probably just
that's
burn.
not a G. I think it's burn. Esper Blade, Blue White Red Blade. Simon's up there playing Enchantress. Someone's playing Dead Guy Ale.
Sure.
We got someone on Jund, someone on Maverick, someone on Infect. Looks like we got the Mono Blue Vapor Snag deck up there. And then Rug Loam Lands. Because loam is not implied when you say lands.
Yeah.
Basically lands with intuition, sounds like. That's what we're going to be seeing here. Intuition and a small artifact package to go alongside a Academy Ruins. It's very likely what we got up there. So I'm going to run up and tell someone to get on camera here. So we don't end up with lands.
Yeah. Captain in the chat asks if there's been any Blue-Red Delver since the ban, and I haven't really seen any. At the tournament in Indianapolis, apparently there were like 3 copies in day 2. Presumably they replaced Cruise with Dig Through Time. It's just a lot less effective, really, for like what that deck was trying to do. I don't think the deck's really tier 1 anymore by any means. It's possible it has to go back more to the way it was configured before Treasure Cruise, where it was like more of a Snapcaster deck, and it was really relying heavily on just burn to the face. Like your creatures can maybe get through like 8 to 10 damage and have your spells do the rest. In that way, it's functioning more like a burn deck than Blue-Red Delver with Cruise really was. But we'll see how things evolve. There's a good chance that a lot of the innovation and evolution of the format's just going to like slow down now because of this relative scarcity of like the bigger SCG opens. Because like the 5Ks are good, like they're fine tournaments, but it's probably just not going to like evoke as much change week to week. Was there anyone else to jump on camera here or no?
What's up? Oh, I told Chuck to toss someone over there if he can find someone. Otherwise, we'll wait for the next round since I think most of the games are in game 2 or 3 and finishing soon, theoretically.
For sure.
I told him to either line up Tone with the intuition-based lands for the camera next round, or Simon on Enchantress.
Sure.
So whoever wins, basically, I told him to put on there.
Yeah.
Because they're currently playing.
Cool. Oh. Whoops.
Inkmoth Nexus, I don't know if you just said this or if Greg's already responded to this, but I do think that I'm very eager to see someone try Stifle Knot with Cloudform. I think it would be very, very neat to see, because it's very hard to answer. One thing that will answer it very well is Pernicious Deed.
Or Abrupt Decay. Oh.
No, Abrupt
it
Decay
doesn't
does
do
not
anything.
answer it, in fact. But if they have 2 Abrupt Decays, then they can do it.
Yeah.
Because they have to kill the enchantment
Right.
first. But having a
That's pretty cool.
having a giant flying trample hexproof guy is pretty good.
Yeah. Then you have to like play a bunch of like weirdo do nothings in your deck, but I guess you have brainstorm.
Well,
to
I
set
think
it
your
all
only
up.
weirdo do nothing at this point. I mean, like
Cloudform's not actually a good card.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's better than playing the whatever that blue 1-mana Vision Charm
Okay.
to like phase out
Oh.
your dude.
I didn't even
like
know that was a thing.
there are like considerably worse things that you could be playing in Stifle Knot than
Sure.
Cloudform. I mean, if
Okay.
nothing else, it's a 2/2 flying hexproof. Like
Yeah.
that's not the worst. Most decks probably can't really kill it. Obviously, no. I mean,
They
'cause
can
even
just ignore it though.
maybe. I mean, who
Maybe.
knows?
Yeah.
I mean, you're theoretically being pretty taxing on their mana base and stuff.
How do I change which round number we're up to?
Uh,
I'm not sure which. Oh,
round label.
boom.
There we go.
Sorry. I'm stupid.
Should we have it
everyone.
say 2 of 4?
Where?
Oh.
There's no room.
Why is there a colon then? I guess
No,
there's.
that's the end of the screen.
Sure. Okay. Sapphire Charm. There you go. Thank you, UTX Shiro.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I wasn't sure if it was. It has uses.
So wait, so what goes in Stifle? Are you mono blue? Or are you
You're
playing
probably
another color?
blue-white, so you
What does
can.
white give you?
It gives you Enlightened Tutor
For Cloudform?
Or
yeah, either.
for either of your cards that you
yeah,
want.
I guess that's kind of cool.
I mean, because it also allows you to, like, I mean, it's turn 4 play, so it's not very good, but
Yeah.
it allows you to, I guess you get end of turn 2, Enlightened Tutor up the Dreadnought, or no, that doesn't work,
What?
because you'll draw it. It's like a turn 4 play to put it on top.
Yeah, if you have 4 mana.
Yeah.
You also presumably could play top in this deck, so like
You just float it.
just get it into the top 3 and then top manipulate, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, not too bad. What do we have going on back on the table up here, other than
that's
lots
just
of
Bob sitting there.
shaking? Wait, what did I
Seems
do?
like they're just sitting. I think that's still Bob's forearm.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
they're just sitting there. Okay.
Bob holding on to his match slip. We'll see what else we can
hold
get.
on, I think it might be Vision Charm. Let me check though.
They both do something.
Because one phases out an artifact.
Sure. Yes, that one.
Yeah, it's this one, UTX Shiro. The old Vision Charmo. Trigger on the stack, phase it out, then you have a 13/13.
Sounds great.
Or is it a 12/12? I always I get its power and toughness confused
it's
with
a,
Death
yeah,
Shadow.
It's a 12/12 trample.
Yeah.
That was the first rare I ever opened up in a Magic pack.
Was Phyrexian Dreadnought.
Yeah, I was very confused.
Little did you know. Yeah, that's
It seemed pretty crappy, but I didn't really know what berry meant either when because I didn't know anything. I
like
was
I'll never have that much power.
Yeah, it just seemed bad.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, and in most situations it is very bad.
Yeah,
I mean, you could always illusionary mask it in.
yeah.
Weird old morph that is arbitrarily very, very expensive.
Mhm.
So they're just flopping around here. Yeah, okay, they're not actually changing. Another thing that confuses people quite a bit, I know Greg's heard me talk about it a lot here recently, but I've been trying, if any of you read the articles on Star City Games, Karsten Cotter put together a list with the recent unbannings of a World Gorger Dragon combo deck. And I kind of tweaked his list a little bit. And I've been playing it on MTGO to kind of. I ordered all the cards for in person, but I don't want to look like a complete scrump when I show up to play it, even though I'll probably just get rolled anyway. But I've been playing it on MTGO to see how it works, and it's actually a pretty consistent and pretty powerful deck. That is actually just the most miserable thing in the world to play on MTGO. The reason I say this is because they're like a bajillion clicks, and people are eager to time you out, even in for fun games.
Sounds like fun for them.
Yeah, just sitting through the entire timer for the game.
Yeah.
But the combo, for those of you that don't know, we got World Gorger Dragon up here, and you notice that he's got a lot of weird text on him. So this guy was banned in Legacy for a long time. They just recently unbanned him, operating under the assumption that it's probably just better to reanimate Grizzlebrand than him anyway, so he's probably not that big of a deal. The cool part about this combo is that the combination of World Gorger Dragon and Animate Dead, which you probably all know, but I'll pull it up.
Yeah, some people.
And Animate Dead here. It's got a lot of text on it too. So basically what happens is you want to entomb or through some other means put a World Gorger Dragon into your graveyard, and then you want to cast Animate Dead targeting your World Gorger Dragon, which creates an infinite loop. So what happens is your Animate Dead goes onto your World Gorger Dragon, which brings it back onto the battlefield. Then the World Gorger Dragon's ability triggers, which says when it comes into play, exile all your other permanents. So another clause on Animate Dead is if Animate Dead leaves play, you sacrifice whatever you brought back with it. So what ends up happening is you bring the dragon back in. Its ability triggers, so Animate Dead and all of your lands go away. The dragon then has to go back to your graveyard, which then triggers and brings all of your permanents back into play, meaning that your Animate Dead comes back, and you're able to target your dragon again. So it's an infinite loop that doesn't necessarily do anything unless you have lands in play, which you presumably do, which means that every iteration of this loop, you're able to tap all of your lands to add mana to your mana pool, and that makes it to where the next time he comes back in, they all come back untapped, you tap your lands again, and through that loop, you make infinite mana. The weird thing about this is there's really no opportunity to use it if there's not some other creature to end the loop. Because if Animate Dead can only target World Gorger Dragon, then it's kind of an indefinite loop that can't stop. You can't put something else, if there's nothing else in the graveyard, it's going to have to keep this combo repeating, which is a draw automatically, unless you can do something with it. So through looping and making infinite mana, you're having to fit any win conditions in between these triggers.
At instant speed.
At instant speed, because obviously all of these things they still have to resolve, so you're never going to have an opportunity to use this mana that you've made on any sorcery speed spells. Enter one of the new cards, Dig Through Time. So you've got infinite mana, so delving for Dig Through Time doesn't really matter that much. Basically what it does is it allows you to look, it does what the card does. You look at the top 7, you choose 2, and you can put them into your hand. It's an instant speed spell, so you're able to squeak it in between the iterations of this combo. The way that you win with this combo is in my list, I guess it's probably not it's not the same for all of them. In the original Carson Cotter one, he had the ability to entomb for an Una. I don't remember her full title. The
Queen of the Fae.
Queen of the Fae, the big fairy, who could then exile their whole library. In mine, the only win condition that you're going to be able to get is you either want to have a Cunning Wish in hand, which is an instant speed spell that lets you go to your sideboard and get an instant speed spell, or a Dig to find a Cunning Wish, or a Dig to find a Snapcaster Mage to then recast your Dig to find a Cunning Wish. Basically, it ends with Cunning Wish. So with the Cunning Wish, you're able to, with your infinite mana, go to your sideboard and find a Stroke of Genius. So you probably know Stroke of Genius, although it's gotten kind of overshadowed by its more blue cousin, Blue Sun Zenith.
That will do it too, though.
Yeah, either will do it. An X spell that makes them lose will do it.
Whichever you happen to own.
Yeah,
Whichever
I mean,
art you like more.
the deck has red in it, so you could run Comet Storm if you want to, just blast them to the face.
Yeah.
But this one makes them lose on the spot, and they really don't have much that they can do about it. Is you make infinite mana and you say you will draw your whole library now. It confuses a lot of people. The deck can go off pretty early. Sometimes it has to go off pretty late. One of the other really nice ways that it's able to kind of filter its draws is you're running 4, and I don't know if that's the right number, but you're running 4 copies of the land from Desolate Lighthouse from the Innistrad block, which allows you to pay a blue or red and 1 and tap it to draw a card and discard a card. So you just start looting. So if you start comboing, we mentioned earlier that every time the combo reiterates, you're getting all your lands back. So if you have them, obviously you have infinite mana. So long as you can make red and blue, you can then loot infinitely. Which means that as long as you have a card in your hand, you can just loot until you find the win condition. So until you find one of the wishes. At that point, you just loot till you find it, and then you make them draw their deck. It is the most painful thing in the world to play online because every time it reiterates, you have to click on the enchantment, click on World Gorger Dragon, tap all of your lands, and since they're all dual lands, you have to click the land, then click the color you want every single time, and then click F2 or OK to move through all of these different things that are happening. I found a point at which the game basically breaks from your combo happening, and that involves having more than one Snapcaster Mage in play that keeps coming back in because you have to continuously put all of their triggers on the stack, even though they'll never resolve. I ended up with a stack that was like longer than the screen could fit on it, fit in on it, and it was taking me like 7 seconds to tap my lands. And I was just like, "Listen, man, can you just scoop?" And they're like, "No." So I'm like, "All right, well, good game," because MTGO can't handle it. Fortunately, in Paper Magic, if you can demonstrate a loop, you can say how many times you want to repeat it without having to actually just move the cards with your hand. On MTGO, there is no such functionality because, as we all know, it's garbage software. So you just have to click through it. So for any of you that play like Twin and Modern online, it's probably a lot like that, except way more painful.
Yeah, Twin online, you only have to do it like 10 times.
Right.
20 for Exarch.
Right, 20. Well, yeah, assuming that they have lost no life, which is probably quite a lot to assume in Modern. They're probably going to be at least at 17, but yeah. It's quite a... It does not run deck Faden. That doesn't really do a ton for you. Yeah, you couldn't do Banefire. So like any win con you have is gonna be counterable. But the thing is, they probably would have countered your Cunning Wish.
Yeah.
And the deck runs like a playset of Thoughtseize in the main, and with Dig Through Time, if you were able to find Cunning Wish and Forcible, you have infinite mana, so you're gonna have Force backup, just hard casting it.
Presumably, it would just be better for them to have use their counter spells to fight over the Animate Dead, I would think.
What they really want to fight over is not the Animate Dead, but the Entomb. So similar to Legacy Reanimator, the card, like the effect that's at a premium, is what gets the creature into your graveyard. Does Volcanic Geyser, is that the one that has that can get split second?
Might be. Gey.
I can't spell.
Nope.
Gayer. Oh, no, that's just that new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue is that the only reason that I'm not running a red burn-based kill condition is that you are you won't always have a red land in play. Like with this deck, red is like the slightest of splashes. So if you're going off really early, for instance, like when I was playing earlier online, there was an instance in which I went off on turn 2 on someone. I went turn 1 Entomb, turn 2 Animate Dead, and had the Dig Through Time to combo. You'll generally just get black lands first. So it's only a little bit later on when you would really ever have red.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not terrible. It's not a...
The 4 Desolate
You
Lighthouse
could have Mind
still
Swipe
blows.
back up. I could. Be like, oh, you're going to counter my spell? We'll kill you. Yeah. But
Doesn't sound terrible.
yeah, and like I said, I don't know that it should have 4 Desolate Lighthouse. I mean, I know that's what Carson Cotter put in his list, and I know that when Jerry Thompson talked about his list, he didn't say anything about changing the number of Desolate Lighthouses.
Yeah.
I only have it on Moto right now. The cards are in the mail. So once they get here, I will be playing it. I can't say that I'll be winning with it, so I may never be under the camera, but I will be playing it for a while. I've got pretty much everything on the way. I think we might... Nope, still Bob. Still Bob.
I think my deck would have trouble with that. I have swords. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that if the deck can go, like, Thoughtseize into, like, combo
yeah.
against you, the issue is that because I've changed... I listened to the... advice from the Jerry Thompson comments on the deck, which said that he would probably just take out all the basics. So being able to hate out my lands is a very real way to kill it.
Yeah.
I'm playing 20, but 4 of them are Desolate Lighthouse, so
Yeah.
it's not really 20. Yeah, I got it somewhere. I'll post it when we get it on stream. When I get the pieces, I'll make sure that we post it up. because I might tweak it a little bit more between now and then. I've been testing it, trying to figure out exactly what it needs.
You could also look at the article on Star City from last week, I think.
There were a couple. So there was the Karsten Cotter one,
which is on the free side.
Yeah, which is the free one, and then there was a Jerry Thompson one where he talked about it in the middle of it, which I think was on the paid side.
Yeah. Yeah, most of Jerry Thompson's stuff is on the paid.
Yeah, well, the exception of the ones where he just posts a deck list and then says like 12 words about
it's
it.
It's usually a piece of garbage.
Yeah, yeah.
What can you do?
So what's going on, Patrunkin Fat 7?
It's Patrunkin.
No, I think it's Pat Runk in Fat 7.
It could be.
You gotta break it up, or we won't know you're talking to him.
He'll probably get it. I don't think there's anyone.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get it. But yeah, Phil, I agree. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what you get for tangling with Mark's voodoo.
Yeah. It's gonna sit on your face. I don't know what we should look to get on camera next round.
Yeah, I already told him what to put on.
Yeah, but no one said anything.
What do you mean?
Like, they didn't chime in of, like, what they wanted to see.
Oh, I just told him to put on whoever won between Simon and Tony.
Simon and Tony? What was Tony playing?
He's playing the blue lands list with intuitions and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
they're both pretty interesting decks that'll be pretty nice to watch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering. I hear a lot of chairs moving up there, Sanctuary SC, so I'm assuming it'll be soon.
That could also be the big D&D
That
players.
could be all of the D&D dudes that are up there. It's very interesting to be in try to play a Legacy tournament in a room with like a ton of people role playing. There was an instance where I was in the finals of one of the Legacy tournaments here, and one of the guys, Simon's playing Enchantress tonight, Phil. One of the guys at the table next to us playing D&D, and like during the final round of this tournament, when I'm like trying to make the tough decision, just starts screaming hysterically. I guess role playing dying, but he just started freaking out, and it was very hard to think about what I was doing. It's hard to brainstorm.
Yeah.
When you are being screamed at.
Well, trial under fire.
Yep.
Phil, I think, is one of the supporters of us putting Enchantress on camera, so we'll try to get that.
Yeah, we really want to take care of Phil and what Phil wants.
That's true.
So we'll get it on there for you, buddy.
Watching Enchantress isn't the worst.
It's not.
It's. I would prefer to watch it than lands.
Yeah.
Most certainly, because the game does end in a lot fewer turns, even if like Enchantress is gonna win, presumably, because they start drawing like 1 million cards per turn at some point.
It's not always. I mean, sometimes they hole up behind like elephant grass and just sit there for a while.
I mean, if they're able to survive that long, they're like. They have 1 million tutor, like they have tutors and they have their engine pieces. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's well, I'm thinking that the lands that we've got queued up if he wins, which I'm thinking he will, because I'm pretty sure his deck can just recur engineered explosives, which seems pretty good against Enchantress.
Yeah. Well, Rest in Peace is a problem.
Yeah, that's true. Rest in Peace would just poop on his deck.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it might be a clouse matchup.
But I don't think that anyone actually likes blue-green Enchantress.
What does the blue give you?
Cloud of Fairies to untap your wild growth forests.
That doesn't seem. I don't know. There were a lot of really good, powerful white enchantments in Magic.
There are, and a lot of them are. Yeah, it's pretty fucking cold out here, Mike.
Yeah.
Camera got bumped.
That's great.
Why?
Nice job, guys. Oh, wow.
Lord in heaven. All right, I'll fix it. You keep talking, Greg.
Man. People with their big old butts just bumping cameras. It's not okay. Give us Spreading Seas. That sounds pretty sweet, but I don't know if I can abide. Green-white just... I don't know. It's like a pretty well-oiled machine, at least as much as a green-white combo deck could be a well-oiled machine in Legacy, right? Although I guess calling it a combo deck is kind of a misnomer. It's kind of more of a prison deck, I suppose. Yeah, red Gibbous is usually for the kill condition. Let's see. It looks not good.
So is this the end? Where's the camera? Okay, I think I know what it is.
Okay. I think you have to rotate it to the right. Or like... he's not going to hear me. Yeah, Blood Moon is the other red card that you get access to. I don't really think there's anything outside of those two. I could totally be wrong, though. But Worlds of War is pretty sweet. Phil tells us in the chat that blue-green Enchantress is an actual combo deck. I guess I'll agree.
We need tape on the ground. What's it look like now?
You know, not great.
Is it good enough? Hold on.
It has to rotate counterclockwise. Counterclockwise, right? Sorry, Kyle's running up and down the stairs trying to fix the camera, and he's horribly out of shape, so that's the huffing and puffing that you're hearing. If people in the chat can tell me what to play in Standard, I'd be very appreciative, because I kind of hate all the decks right now, but I want to play some PPTQs. Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right.
Good workout.
I really hate this pipe.
Yeah. This basement's pretty
It's not good.
pretty hellish.
Yeah, coming in
Overall.
here, there's like a 4 foot in the air pipe. That,
It's a good height to clothesline yourself on.
yeah. Whew. So,
I asked people in the chat what I should play in Standard,
and they said blue black. One person said blue black.
and one person said,
Mono green centaur tribal.
yeah. Phil asked what I'm going to play on Saturday. Saturday is Valentine's Day.
This Saturday
so-
isn't Valentine's Day, is it? That was the next one.
No, it's this one. Today's the 9th. Valentine's Day is the 14th.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is this the good?
Yeah, it's this Saturday.
Either way, I mean, I already know what I'm
promise
doing.
you it's this Saturday.
Alright, it doesn't matter when it is.
Yeah. There's like
I already know what will happen.
there's a pre-TQ and a PTQ, and they're both Saturday, and there's nothing on Sunday. It's very
Holiday
fun.
Magic tournaments are good value.
Well, yeah, they're good if you're able to go.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
The
MTG card market's gonna blow attendance. It's not gonna be good.
oh, is that theirs? That's this
Yeah.
weekend? Oh, okay.
And I missed Dojos this past Saturday because I had to work. So
Yeah, no, it's tough.
yeah, I should
Life
really
is
quit
hard.
my job. What can you do? Phil, always the romantic, always gonna play a Magic tournament on Valentine's Day.
If you can help it.
That makes sense.
Although, like, realistically,
Yeah.
like, how much will that really affect the turnout, do you think?
Are you making a slight at the percentage of Magic players who have serious girlfriends?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I'm wondering that if it'll really affect the turnout that much.
sure. Yeah, tell us if we're on in the chat. Where's KatsuCon? I don't even know what that is. Is that like anime?
Katsuka? Yeah, I don't know. When I went up there, Mark, they were, like, Pino was turning in 3 result slips because I guess no one wants to turn in their slips.
Perfect. Yeah. we're
Mark
probably
has
gonna-
nothing to do with the flow upstairs.
Yeah, we'll probably get some turnover in a minute, but I think
Yeah.
Chuck was also pretty bogged down with fulfilling TCG player orders because there's always a rush before and
And
or,
the
or like
Tour.
during and after a Pro Tour because like people like kind of are deciding what modern deck they want to buy into right now. Like he was fulfilling one order and it was basically
A
someone
bunch
just
of
like
affinity.
Yeah, it was like buying an affinity deck.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be interested to see who Simon's playing against this round.
Yeah. Hopefully it's one of the more well, hopefully it's not like a lopsided matchup.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, I don't know if there are that many matchups where you're like, oh, well, Enchantress can't lose. Maybe like
Most Delver matchups were quite
Burn.
good.
No, Bug Delver's really good against Enchantress.
Oh, Bug, sure.
Decay and Golgari Charm. Golgari Charm is actually just, I feel like, Enchantress's worst nightmare.
It's pretty bad.
Because it kills their Enchantress and it blows up enchantment. It's like, it's really, really good.
I guess like there's like a blue-white red Delver deck. Like I can't really imagine that one losing or beating
Yeah,
dangerous.
they're tough, right? Because I mean, it's like their best threat is like yeah, I agree. Cook the fourth. Burns probably a fine matchup.
Yeah.
Because they just play solitary confinement and they can't lose.
Well, they need to have gotten the game to a point where they can confinement and maintain.
That and they can't just lose to sulfuric vortex.
Yeah, that seems like a problem.
Yeah. Actually, realistically, if Burn can get out a pretty early Eidolon of the Great Revel, I imagine that Enchantress has a
could
pretty
be,
tough time. It seems like that would be the case.
Yeah, I mean, the deck they play answers. Like I think Simon plays like 1 or 2 like Oblivion Rings.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely not ideal.
Yeah, the Burn guy the Enchantress player that I played World Gorger against the other night was playing some number of Swords to Plowshares in this deck.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but he was.
Yeah, maybe Path would be better.
I don't know. Path helps them pay through your elephant grasses.
Oh, sorry. I thought nothing.
I don't know what you're talking about, Greg.
I thought you were talking about putting swords in Burn. That didn't make sense.
No.
That one did not make sense.
Silence. Okay, so we got Simon.
It looked like, from the guy's deck box, I'm thinking he might be playing Burn.
This might be the Burn guy.
Yeah. What card was that?
No, not Simon. I can't spell his last name. Kamerow.
Nailed it. Alright.
I was reading.
So everyone, we've got Simon Camero on the left, and he's playing Enchantress.
And we aren't sure who the guy on the other side of him is.
Yeah. You want me to run up and see?
Yeah, I think it's the Burn player.
Yeah.
That's his last name.
Oh god.
I'm not typing it. If that's who it is, I'm not typing it.
It's not gonna fit.
Oh.
You can put his first name and a last initial.
So yeah, we think that it is Sukiat C.
His last name is about 20 letters, and we think it's gonna break the overlay. So forgive us.
And we think that he is on Burn.
Yeah. Well, he has red sleeve, or no, he doesn't have red sleeves. Simon has red sleeves, but he has a mountain deck box.
Is Simon playing against Burn?
Yeah.
Okay. We got him.
Splendid. All right, so people who are asking for Burn,
No, I'm not typing in his full name. Because no,
it's not gonna fit, Joe.
I don't have the dexterity.
All right.
So let's pull up something that matters here. Lightning Bolt. That's a meaningful
You
card.
can pull up solitary confinement.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be Simon's best card in this matchup. We don't know if Simon knows what he's playing against, which is always super relevant in Legacy.
Yeah, because I mean, his keeps might be a little worse than they could have been. Because I imagine it's very easy to keep like a hand that just stomps him.
Yeah.
But his first few turns are generally going to be forest into wild growth, so like it probably won't make a huge difference.
Right.
Who has 8 cards in hand?
Who does? Who has 8? Anyone?
2, 3.
Does the Burn? Did he already draw? Yeah, he had already drawn. Interesting.
Yeah, but he didn't draw again, so.
Yeah, he only has 8.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Simon's watching him. Seal Fire.
Well, that does 2.
We got a shock and a stick.
Yeah, everyone, he has 8 cards. He was going second, so we don't know why he drew 8 to start.
But he did not draw on his first
turn. It might have been an accident. I think he's new to the scene, so.
Yeah, no, but he didn't I don't think he's like drawn too many cards over the course of the game.
He hasn't drawn too many, but he also got to see an 8th card before deciding whether or not he wanted to mulligan.
Yeah, I mean, Simon's a good player, and he'll keep his eye on stuff like this, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, well, we can go up there in between games and make sure he knows. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, so we have.
We'll keep an eye on it, guys.
Sterling Grove here. right?
Yeah, Sterling Grove 2, draw. So actually, sorry, we gotta get these life totals right.
Ares Guile.
Simon should be at 19.
Yeah, Seal of Fire hasn't done its thing yet.
Oh, no, wait, what did he do?
There's a Flame Rift, sorry.
Flame Rift?
Yeah,
So
they
they're-
both went down 4.
Okay.
So this is really just a race, like, because Simon can get Solitary Confinement into play next turn if he wants.
Yeah,
But
and once he has it, so keep an eye on the fact that it looks like Sukiat started the game with 8 cards and then just didn't draw on his first turn.
we don't know if it was on purpose or not.
Yeah, but just be aware.
Looks like he has a... Is that Burning Anger in his hand? Or Book Burning? I forget what that card
That's
is.
Incinerate, I think.
No, the first card.
The first one, I have no idea, but
It's
it looks like it's
like-
got a little angry slug on
It's
it.
one of the Punisher type cards, I think, from like Odyssey block or Onslaught block. If people could tell us what red card that is, the front of his hand, that would be great. Because I feel like I have known it in my lifetime, but I can't. Be
Yeah, I'm
for
not
sure
I'm not
at the
overly
moment.
sure on it, but so it looks like Simon has found his solitary confinement.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much gonna. Yeah, it looked like a fireball. I agree.
Is it?
This should lock it up, I think.
Well, it depends how many enchant. Yeah.
He's got a lot of
alright.
enchantments.
Yeah, this is probably good.
Sterling Grove again.
Yeah.
So at this point, if Simon's still playing his Mana Bloom,
Sure.
you cannot target him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to beat him at this point.
Yeah, Solitary's pretty much locking him out.
You can see the surprise on Sukiat's face here, seeing that his spells can no longer target his opponent.
He's walked into a not great matchup.
Yeah, this is a pretty rough one here.
Um,
Oh, whoops.
yeah, I always forget that shit.
I blame Greg. I haven't streamed in forever. There we go.
That'll do.
It's been 10 minutes. We're pretty sure. Click on that, yeah.
Damn.
Yes, both of these players won their first rounds. Come on, Greg.
Oh, shut it.
You're the one that does this all the time.
I always forget to do this stuff. And Mark does it. Alright, yeah, these players are 1-0.
Yeah, these players are both 1-0. Sorry for the failure to
Is there
update up
anything
here,
else
guys.
we didn't do? I think we did everything else.
Yeah, I don't think there have been any more fetch lands, and
I don't think
Sukiat
life
can't
totals are
target
changed. Yeah,
him.
I don't think life totals are going to really change now.
No, this is pretty much, I think, I'm not sure what Simon's win condition is anymore. It's very likely may well be Words of War.
Yeah, he plays Words of War. He also plays, what is it, Luminarch Ascension, I think.
It's not a miscast, Tobilicious, because he can't actually cast it. Like, you're not forced to target yourself with a spell if you try to put it on the stack, and that you can't target what you planned on targeting. Especially not at this REL.
If you chose an illegal target, though, like, they're not going to force you...
To
Like,
shoot
even
yourself.
Even at competitive REL, it's just going to be a game rule violation.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to force you to cast it targeting yourself.
So Simon's got an Enchantress's presence out here. It's pretty locked up.
Well, he also has Argothian Enchantress. So every
Yeah,
Enchantress
he's
plays
drawing
2.
a lot of cards.
Yeah.
The game's pretty much in solitaire mode
Sukiat's
now.
having the time of his life over here.
Correct.
I think that's...
It looks like a weird little mad slug.
Yeah. It's... Oh, God.
You wanna run up there and make him show you?
No.
We can put it on the...
If anyone can tell me what card that is, I'd be very happy.
Can someone find the this first card in his hand? It looks like a weird yelling slug.
Yeah. It's the...
There's a Grim Lavamancer.
It's the card behind the Lavamancer in Sukiat's hand. But I, for the life of me, cannot remember what that card is.
Is it Flame Break? Someone says.
Is
Let's take a look at Flame Break.
No. That's something else. Nope.
No, that's not it.
This card's, I think, from Onslaught? Or maybe Onslaught Block?
Simon doesn't know what it is either.
Is it Burning Rage? Is that a card?
Could you read it, or are you just guessing names of cards?
I don't know. Nope.
There is no
that's
Burning
not-
Rage.
What is Burning Anger? That's something
That's not
different,
it.
right?
No.
That's a new card.
That's
Yeah, that's not that.
That's this.
Yeah, that's not that. Yeah, if anyone could tell
They
me what
gave
that
the gave the card to Chuck. 'Cause Mark must be telling Chuck to see what the card is.
probably banned.
This is like an uncard.
Yeah.
Lightning Bolt.
Breaking Point. Is that it? Yeah. Freaking nailed it, Captain.
Oh, it does look like a little yelling slug, but it's not at all.
Yeah.
Breaking Point. That's what we're trying to find
It's a
here.
heck of a card.
I wish it was Hitsudoku's second,
Judgment.
right?
I got it wrong. It was from Judgment. I don't know why that was Onslaught block.
So have we reached the point in the game?
I think he's gonna. I think Sukiat hasn't seen any way where Simon's winning the game. So like, I would probably at least wait around until I saw how he was
The
gonna
issue is
decide
that
to win.
even if he casts this Breaking Point, doesn't Solitary Confinement prevent all damage?
Yeah, it does.
So he can't even. Can he even? I don't even know how that would work. I guess he just can't take the damage, right? He can say, "Yeah, I'll have it deal 6 damage to me," and it doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Simon is. We're basically just watching some Solitaire here. It's
It's very on flavor for solitary confinement. Yeah.
Solitaire Confinement.
Mm-hmm.
Coming soon in the new unset that will never happen.
This is a draw 2 here.
Yeah, and he's gonna probably find his win con here.
Yeah.
He's got a red source, so
Seems
this
about
is
the
what
right
was
time.
important. Like
Nope, sigil.
Oh, I wonder if he's switched win cons or he just has one of each at this point. So
He
Sigil
might
of the
have
Empty
cut
Thrones,
red.
guys. It's another one of those cool spells that does something when you cast something rather than when something comes into play. So it's like a 5-mana enchantment from a Lara block originally that whenever you cast an enchantment, you put a 4/4 angel into play. That should close out the game pretty quick once it has been cast.
Yep. This, yeah. Jeez. Yeah, he's gonna put, what, 20 power into play next turn,
Yeah,
probably.
it's not going to be very hard for him to get a lot of power in play here. And it looks like he's already going for it. So he's going to draw 2 cards and make a 4/4 angel,
Right.
which is a Handtail Monkey.
He already played a land this turn, so I don't think he has any mana floating.
No, I think he's pretty well done here.
Yeah. So the game's probably going to last for 2 more turns.
Yeah, it should end fairly quickly here. His opponent, I mean, unless his opponent starts burning out his angels,
Yeah.
which it's like, you might as well.
You could, but Simon has like 10 cards in hand.
Yeah.
Or 7, because that's the maximum he could have. Attack for 4 this turn.
He swings for 4.
Next turn it's going to be a lot more.
His,
They might be asking whether or not he can try to kill the 4/4. Or if he's allowed to attack with a Pokemon.
there
in
is
a
an
Magic
exchange happening. Did he kill it?
game. I don't know.
I think he conceded.
Yeah.
This looks like a concession to
Seems
me.
like the game ended.
Yes. Okay. So there was game 1.
Jeez.
60 life. Sorry. 20 here. So we've gotten a pretty non-interactive matchup into play here for you.
Yeah. It seems like
I was
Solitary
hoping he'd be
Confinement
playing
is
against something
good.
that wasn't burn. That was pretty much the only matchup that was up there
Super
that would have been
lopsided.
this lopsided. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, of course, we could have just watched Mono Blue Vapor Snag, like, turn 3 back to basics on someone and just tell them they don't get to play anymore.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, bounce your Tarmogoyf. Blah.
Yeah.
So we'll get our cards all shuffled up here, make sure our player doesn't draw 8 cards at the start of the game, and we will get right into... Oh, I saw a Ball Lightning.
Yes.
Get him.
I think there are 3 or 4 copies.
That is 4 Ball Lightnings.
2 black border, 2 white. Makes sense.
You gotta mix them up.
Yeah, you want a bit of both.
You want to give your opponent some information.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Heading into game 2 here. Yeah, we do. If you've watched in the past, you'll find that pretty much anytime Greg Pino's on camera, he's playing Maverick. Maverick does an alright job here. Killer Kevin asked what Maverick is. It's basically just a green-white X fair creature deck that's trying to get a Knight of the Reliquary out really fast and then just bury their opponent with it by either activating it to get Wastelands and take away all their mana, or really any number of things. You can toolbox your deck for lands with him, so there's a lot that you can do.
Usually people are splashing black nowadays.
Yeah, black for Deathrite Shaman's pretty common, although Greg Pino, the guy that normally plays it here, has splashed blue in the past for various things like Rock's Warmonk and Rafika the Many and stuff like that.
Edric.
A lot of singleton creatures. It's also a Green Sun Zenith deck. So there are a lot of targets for Green Sun Zenith, be it Kasali Pride Mage or Scavenging Ooze, Gaddock Teague. A lot of pretty hateful cards that you're able to kind of toolbox for. Of course, there's always the Green Sun for 0 that allows you to turn 2 a Knight of the Reliquary, which I think if you're gold fishing, that's probably your play.
Cook the Fourth is asking about the burn deck that we have on camera. It probably is a budget deck as much as we haven't. Neither of Kyle nor I have seen Sukiat around, so he might just be getting back into things and pulled out some red cards from 10 years ago. So.
There's some stuff that you. So what you find sometimes, in these smaller local legacy tournaments is that you'll have players come in that, they're just excited to play the cards that they used to like. It's not that they're playing necessarily, like, they're not playing a tier 1 legacy deck that's winning tournaments right now, but they just played Magic a long time ago. They like these cards, they've still got them, and they want a format they can play them in, which really the only option is, casual around the store with people you randomly find, or you can play them in the legacy tournaments here. So, it's may not be the most tuned deck. It's just probably a deck full of cards that he likes to play.
Yep. And Sukiat just finishing up with sideboarding here. I don't know.
Looks like there are a lot of cards in his deck.
Yeah. I think he's figuring out what's going on here.
I think Chuck's helping out.
Chuck is also helping. But just trying to get 15 cards in the sideboard. He might have started with more than 15, actually. That's a possibility.
Possibly, yeah. JD Prickett, yeah, it's pretty tough for them to beat him. Especially once Enchantress knows what they're on. Yeah,
what can you do? I would knock the clear sleeves. I do like the Magic card back. It makes me sad that you don't get to see it more, really.
Yeah, just especially in competitive play, just the fact that a lot of cards will have slightly more different wear and tear on the back of them.
Yeah,
it's not something you get to see very often. Although they do make sleeves that have the Magic card back.
Yeah, I haven't really found those.
I haven't seen them in a while.
I know. I don't know why they really went away, because I would probably use those.
I'm not 100% certain what's going on right now.
I think he's still figuring out. Maybe he's trying to get down to 15 sideboard cards.
That very well may be the case.
Is that a mana vault? That's banned. You might have some banned cards in his sideboard.
Yeah, I think that what we described here is very likely what's going on, and it's someone that just has some cards they wanted to play, and that's what they're playing with.
Yeah.
So it looks like Chuck's probably looking through it and finding out if there's anything that's
not okay.
Banned. And we'll
just make sure that there's the right amount of cards.
Yeah.
There's a disc.
Nevinrel's disc.
Yeah. Get him.
That will certainly blow up all enchantments. So get that.
Yeah.
Be like, I'm keeping this one in my sideboard.
Yeah, disc seems good.
Yeah,
here.
I agree with you, Captain QC. I'm thinking that it is not up to date, but I'm thinking that some of these old cards are pretty good against enchantments.
Yeah. Yeah, this card's the...
Pull up the old one. Pull up the alpha one.
Yeah.
There we go.
That is just gorgeous.
1. Destroys all creatures, enchantments, and artifacts in play. Disc begins tapped, but can be untapped as usual. Disc destroys itself when used.
It's so slangy.
It has like, disc begins tapped, but can be untapped.
It's referring to itself on its own card with a nickname. Just calling itself Disc.
That's true. I wasn't even really paying attention to that.
Its full name.
It's like, nah, man, typing that out again would really be a bummer. So we're just gonna go
that would be crappy.
Just Disc.
Simon giving Sukiat's deck a good shuffle here.
I can't shuffle decks like that.
Yeah.
I can't do the little pull the middle out thing.
Oh, yeah. I think he might have just drawn 8 again.
7, 8. That is 8 cards.
Oh, boy. Come on, man.
No.
Oh, jeez. They'll get that sorted out somehow.
I mean,
that's a lot of
Simon's
mountains.
aware.
Yeah.
I guess he's just gonna let him do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah, let me. I'll go
Nah.
let. Should we let Chuck know? I don't even really know. I kind of feel bad.
Yeah. I mean, what are they gonna do? I think Chuck's also.
I think Chuck's
around.
probably watching at this point. Yeah. So we got Simon down 3 and then 4, so he's at 13. His
Yeah.
opponent is at
This is
16.
This is the start that he needs.
I agree. Say something? All right. I'll just go. I'll make sure that Chuck's aware. He's probably standing there.
Alright, so this is a turn to Sarah Sanctum from Simon. Tapping for 1 mana and another one from the forest for. This is Argothian Enchantress. It's a 0/1 with Shroud and with the Enchantress ability. Turn 3 for Burn. Looks like he has a Seal of Fire in hand. And
Has he done any more damage? Or they're still at 13 and 16? Okay.
Yeah, this is
All right,
Simon's third turn.
Yeah,
now.
we're thinking that he probably just doesn't know. But I made sure Chuck knows, and Chuck seems like he agrees.
Yeah. But he did beat someone last round.
He did. I'd be interested to see who.
Someone with a bad burn matchup.
He was paired against. What's Nathan playing? Jund. He beat Jund.
Oh yeah, that matchup's awful for Jund.
Yeah.
They have to draw Tarmogoyf immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's likely the case, Mike.
Well, he
We've
drew a
got
hand.
it.
He drew a hand of 8 cards, then put one back, then drew for his turn.
Drew for his turn, even though he was on the play.
Great.
Chuck's watching him. He's aware. I mean, there's not a lot. There's not a lot we can do.
This game's also about to end.
I don't think there was a point at which the starting hand size was 8. I think
Alright.
I think his opponent conceded to the solitary confinement. All right, we'll go. I'll go see if we can get someone else on camera here. That was pretty quick. Not the most interactive matchup, guys. Hopefully, we were able to show you a few of the cards that maybe you hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
But we'll go get.
Pull it back to the booth now too.
We'll go get someone else on camera.
Yeah. So I'll go run down some of the people who won their first round. So we have Nikhil. He is playing Dead Guy Ale tokens, so like a black-white tokens deck, I guess. Andrew Bowman on lands. Those two were playing against each other. I could see Lingering Souls maybe being good against lands, just because if they have a draw that's heavy on like Mazavith type effects, or specifically Mazavith, then it doesn't match up very well against tokens. Although, conversely, if they find Tabernacle of Pendril Vale, then that would be very good against tokens. Another winner's match is Greg Pino on Maverick against Peter Kostopoulos on... it's hard to make out what that is. Do you know what Peter's playing?
Very awkward. He's playing basically blue-white blade. There are some lingering souls in it.
Yeah, I don't know what that says.
Esper.
Oh, Esper Blade?
I think it says S.
It's hard to make
It says
out the
S.
writing.
Most of these things look like they say bum.
Yeah, well,
Bum
that
and
might be your
S bum.
subconscious. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I just like saying the word bum.
All right. And then we saw our last winners match that was just on camera. So we'll be seeing what moves to 2-0. Also, if anything can move over on.
Yeah, I went up and asked the crowd to see, if someone moves to the next game, if they want to hop over on camera. We'll definitely take him over there. We got plenty of time left in the round, so I'm hoping that someone whapped the camera again. All right,
Perfect.
Good. I'll go fix it. Oh right, yeah, he may have been operating under the friendly draw EDH thing where you just always draw regardless of whether you're on the play. I don't know. Chuck's talking to him, so it's.
Yeah. I wonder who keeps nailing the camera. Someone with bad peripheral vision. Phil chimes in that he has never beaten Peter. Well, that makes sense. Probably because Peter's better at Magic than you. So, what can you do? Let's see if I can reset some of the rest of this overlay. We have about 20 minutes left in the round right now.
How's it looking?
You know.
Scoot it forward a little bit and tilt it that way.
Yeah. Hibidactyl tells us that back when he was a kid, his older brother and he or she used to play with a bunch of lands in play at the start. That's how some people do it. I mean, other people, you just like don't play with lands, right? Kind of changes what everything is, I guess. Leviathan was your favorite card. Let's pull that one up. It's been a little while. Hopefully we get some sweet old art here. No, we gotta go older. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Oof. Oof. That's pretty. What?
Does it look great? Did it fix it?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon was not aware of the Nevergnarls disc in the sideboard there.
Yeah. Until he was turned over and revealed to him.
No, I just told him. I was like, were you playing around the disc? And he was like, yeah, disc? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that probably would have killed me if I didn't have like a replenish.
Right. Replenish is so sweet in that deck.
That's a sweet card in general.
Yeah. It's great.
So we'll see if someone shifts over. What are we looking at Leviathan for here?
Someone was talking in the chat about how they grew up playing Magic with their older brother, and they would just start with a bunch of lands and play already.
Oh, a mana drop? Where you just, yeah. We used to do that in college. Mark did that some. Mostly because I think our friend Jackson wanted to do it. But yeah, basically you just put all of the... You would just put all of your lands that you start like in your hand and play, and if you drew lands, you put it into play and drew another card.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was really degenerate.
Yeah.
It was too good.
That sounds too good. What can you do though?
Very little.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the circumstances were what we assumed they were.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, but
I wonder if people in the chat got to watch much of the Pro Tour this week, and if anyone has any takeaways about Modern in the post-banning era. It seems like one of the hot topics of the day, or at least of the week.
Yeah, Modern, a lot less exciting. I was hoping for like a sweet like Dredgevine deck or something to like win the whole thing.
I mean, Amulet coming in second is kind of sweet.
But it came in the second in like the last GP, right?
Yeah.
Like it was. I mean, Amulet's not a bad deck, and I mean it definitely can. The card he conceded to is Solitary Confinement. There, Bobby.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that deck is very wacky. Like it's
which deck?
The Amulet deck.
Oh yeah,
it's bizarre.
It seems like it has really great draws and then just nasty, awful draws.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't do anything at all.
And then like sometimes you'll just like turn one like pact kill him with.
Yeah, well that would be like if you drew your Simian Spirit Guide.
Yeah. I mean it's hard to do, but I mean
Mostly
you can definitely turn two pact him, which is a pretty fast combo.
Oh,
in Modern.
Totally.
I mean it's not.
It's way faster than they. Well, it's interesting because like that's a way faster combo than Wizards wants in the format.
Yes.
But they seem okay with.
I think
the deck around.
they're more concerned with very consistent fast combos. Like there are combos in Modern that are super fast, but you can almost never do them.
Yeah, but I mean this deck like, you don't need that many cards to turn to them, right? You need like 2 lands.
Well, it's not that you need a lot of cards. You just need very specific ones.
Sure.
Like it's not a very redundant deck.
Yeah, you have to draw like specifically Amulet of Vigor and specifically Summer Bloom.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have to have a lot of really specific cards to be able to go off on turn 2. Like,
Right.
I think, like, goldfishing it on, like, turn 4 is probably fairly reliable. I mean, I don't think it's, like, Splinter Twin reliable, but it's probably somewhat reliable.
I mean, that's like I think that's even too slow for what they really want to be doing.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that deck wants to be really explosive.
Yeah, it wants to turn 2 or 3 a Primeval Titan or a Hive Mind.
Yeah, Johnny Turbo, I saw that list. It seemed like the absolute worst place for someone to be in a room full of Lingering Souls. Just a bunch of vanilla 5/5s and 4/5s. It's like, you're not going to get through those Lingering Souls.
Yeah, it seems like a bad time.
Like, should have been Hooting Mandrills. I'm a big
Yeah.
proponent for Hooting Mandrills, and I think that would have been a good way to get them in there. Just make it bug, have Abrupt Decay, just don't run Path to Exile, you're fine. Done.
Yeah.
It's like, just toot them.
The thing that I saw that I want to try is Tassiger and Splinter Twin, because that sounds sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Tarmogoyf for the non-green twin decks, basically. I mean, it's a way that you can... And even then, it probably does more for the deck than Tarmogoyf does. I
Yeah.
mean, it interacts with the rest of the cards in your deck.
Yeah, it's a Tarmogoyf that also gives you recurable card advantage going long. It's like, especially like in the Twin Mirror, that card seems fantastic, because like, even if they kill it, like, basically immediately, which is already kind of hard, because, you know, like, it takes 2 lightning bolts or something.
Right.
Some, like, odd combination of effects.
Or Terminate.
Sure.
They're on the same
if
deck.
if it's the True Mirror. But,
Or
like,
a Path. Like, they can Path
yeah.
them.
But, like, even then,
But if they
like,
Path them, they're just ramping your combo out.
yeah. If it's, like, late game, though, and, like, you play it for, like, 1 mana, you might still just be able to activate it once or twice at the end of their... like, whenever they go to kill it,
Yeah.
you know? And that seems awesome.
No, it's not. It's not bad at all. Like it's probably going to replace itself. It will probably do better than replace itself, which is
Right.
really nice. Mike was asking about an example of a deck that can combo really fast in Modern, but usually doesn't. Is that Narset deck that I built?
Okay.
It's like it has the potential to like draw its library and kill its opponent via attacking like an infinite number of times on turn 1.
Okay.
But like it
Do you need,
won't.
like, 7 specific cards or something?
No, not really.
Okay.
So, I had a conversation with the guy.
Yeah.
He is from Thailand, doesn't really speak a whole lot of English.
Okay.
Um,
He definitely has a Thai last name.
Yes.
Because we could not spell it.
We couldn't type it.
We have it
he-
written right here.
He's
Can't do
not
it.
super familiar with tournament structure or
Okay.
anything like that. Like, I had to explain what a sideboard was and how
Yeah.
and how that's supposed to
Yeah,
work.
we were kind of
And-
seeing.
We assumed
bunch
that
of
it was
cards
probably
being
just
thrown
someone that
around.
played Magic a long time ago that
Yeah.
wanted to play the cards they liked.
Pretty much. I tried to explain everything to him. He seemed to sort of comprehend things, but he's very flustered from this last round, particularly because of
the camera.
the camera and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he decided to drop for the
Oh.
event. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfect.
if we'd had any idea, we wouldn't have put him on camera. But it's, you can't know. I
Yeah.
mean, he won his first round. Like,
Yeah. That being said, I should also have a conversation with our opponents about, or rest of our players about being more vigilant about like start of game procedure and stuff like that.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. That's why, like, I would have assumed that you would have gotten called over pretty quick because I imagine Simon knows what cards how many cards his opponent's drawing and stuff like that.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's over and it seems like it's been addressed.
Yeah.
It's a shame that he dropped though.
This is honestly not the event for him.
No, it's not. But
Yeah.
it's like you don't want to chase anyone off after they paid to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is what it is.
What can you do?
That's the stuff that you can run into when playing in Magic tournaments, especially ones
Yeah.
like kind of niche tournaments like this.
Mhm.
Because I definitely have seen that before, where people it's like they have all these old cards and they just want to play them, but they're not a good deck.
Right. Yeah.
The language barrier there seems tough,
Yeah. I can't imagine going to a foreign country and trying to play Magic tournaments on.
especially if you're not overly familiar with the rules of the game.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's always an interesting thing at the Pro Tour. Like, the guy who won the Pro Tour doesn't really speak English, but he was playing against people who spoke English. So, like, they weren't really talking even, like, in-game. So he would just, like, point at things.
Yeah, but I mean, like, realistically, it's like, if I was playing against someone that couldn't speak to me at all, like, I think you could probably play a pretty okay
Yeah,
game
you'd
of
probably be
Magic. Like,
fine.
you don't have a lot of questions to ask them.
Yeah.
So it looks like we got a match that has moved over here. Or this might be the next round.
Yep, looks like it. And that looks like Nathan has
Yeah.
agreed to be on camera.
That's Nathan.
I guess
and
Nathan really just
someone.
doesn't like playing Storm specifically on camera.
So let's get these over
Looks like
here.
Nathan
so,
on Jund.
do we know what this is on the left here?
Looks like
Looks Delvery. I see some.
there's a crop rotation in there. Looks like Infect.
Oh, so that's probably Joe.
Yeah. Yep, definitely Joe. I know those hairy, muscular forearms anyway.
Found him.
Nathan and Joe are on. They're on
Yep.
3.
We
Alright, cool.
what am I doing?
Game 3.
I start typing his middle name because he's got it in there online.
Yeah.
Reiter.
Mm-hmm.
And on the right, looks like we've got.
PP. No.
I will put PP.
Don't
No,
put
I'm
PP.
putting PP.
No, you don't.
What?
Don't
This
do
is his
it.
name on Facebook.
No, he changed
He
his
changed
name.
it back, but I mean, he was PP.
Yeah.
Ah!
Nathan.
Mullen.
Yeah, we're still in round 2, guys. This is the end of round 2.
I don't think this is the case, is it?
What?
Oh, is this still the end of round 2?
Oh, yeah. It's game 3. Sorry.
Okay, so this is game 3. Cool. So
Mhm.
let's get this fixed up here.
Yeah.
I don't know what their record was, so we'll.
Oh, I think they are 0-1.
Oh yeah, because he lost Burn.
Yeah. Unless. Yes. Yeah, these guys were in the 0-1 bracket, but they're the last match finishing.
They
up.
have graciously agreed to let us talk about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. This one's
Match record label.
No.
No.
Uh-uh. It's the like. Go up.
Is it up?
Yes.
Match record input. All right, cool. So 10 minutes left in the round. It looks like it's a tough one for a really grindy deck to win very quickly, unless they're just like blood braid off, blood braid off, blood braid off, blood braid off.
Yeah,
Like-
the game should go one way or the. I mean,
It seems like it'll move quickly,
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Right.
Punishing Fire seems very good here, though.
it does. I mean,
Although he really only has to squeak through once.
I think Joe's favored.
I would
like,
assume that he is.
There's a ton of spot removal, but most of it costs like 2 mana, except for Bolt.
Yeah,
And
and spending 2 mana to just get Vines of the Vast Wood, it seems like a
Right.
really losing proposition.
the discard is good. That's probably maybe the best part of Nathan's deck here. I think it might come down to who's on the play, though.
yeah,
that seems
which
That seems like a pretty big advantage.
we do not
Don't
know.
yet know.
So
Joe rocking white sleeves here. Does not care about getting them dirty.
one shot and done on these sleeves.
Yeah.
Presumably from carpal tunnel, but maybe just for show.
I thought he like broke his hand or something.
That's not a
Or wrist.
cast.
Oh yeah, I guess not.
That's
it's just the Caleb Durward thing.
Presumably carpal tunnel. Maybe too much shuffling.
Yeah.
If you look closely, you'll find that all 4 of his Liliana of the Veils belong to Kyle Norman.
Oh,
Yes,
they get
very
stamped.
special Lilianas
Yeah.
that are in play here. So hopefully we'll get to see them come out to play.
Yeah.
I tried-
Hopefully he shuffles the shit out of them.
Tried to get some Chains of Mephistopheles in there for him, but he didn't want to borrow them. He wanted to continue running Jun Charm.
Sure. Gen Charm's sweet, but
You know,
he doesn't have any 1 mana. Oh, well, spoke too soon.
that's a lot of land.
Yeah.
But
What
the
was it?
Wasteland's pretty good.
Wasteland's fine. I mean, he has. I don't know how good Pyroblast is here, really. It only kills Blighted Agent. I think you have to keep.
Yeah, I mean, you've got an answer to pretty much anything he plays. If you're on, he's presumably on the play.
Why?
It looked like
Did
he
he
was
say first?
deliberating first. Maybe he's not. I don't even know. Yeah, okay, it looks like he's on the play here. No, maybe not.
Maybe.
Maybe they're still
He's
just looking.
still deciding whether he's keeping?
And he,
No.
he kept
that
it.
was
He's
all
on
Joe. Okay.
the draw. Okay, no one cares about that card, so we're good.
About what card? Noble Hierarch?
Yeah.
Why does no one care
Well, it's
about
not one
it?
that you. It's not like a kill on sight creature. Like,
sure,
gives you a
but-
little bit more time.
It's still good for Joe. Like, I think that's Infect's best turn 1 play. Like, I
Probably.
think it's better than just Glistener Elf. But looks like Joe does have a Blade Agent in hand. So this Pyroblast might actually do something.
And but Joe just drew a
Daze.
so that's gonna make him look silly.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. Does he have Vines of the Vastwood too? He's
I
flipping
saw
them too
I
fast.
saw Invigorate.
There's definitely an Invigorate.
So we have Nathan going down to 19 here.
Yeah, all right, Nathan going down. Gonna attempt to Red Blast this guy. I'm not sure if I agree with how he's doing it, to be honest with you. Like, I think
What,
if you're playing
trying to
against
counter it?
because if you're playing against a Daze deck,
Okay.
it's like, I mean, I guess you just gotta make him
he
have
wanted
it.
to use his mana because he had 2/2 drops.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't have a Vines though.
If he has both, well, I definitely would have just. I think the thing about playing against Infect, you want.
You don't let him draw. You want to kill it
Well, it's
fast.
also the thing. Also, though, is if it's Vines and that's the interaction, then he can kick it and he still gets the bonus on the attack. Like if Nathan does it on his own turn, then it's not going to be +4/+4.
Sure. I agree on that one, yeah. I think that a lot of people fall into the trap playing against
Always waiting.
this deck is they want to wait until they try to pump it. It is Vines of the Vastwood.
Jeez.
They want to wait until their opponent tries to pump it and then kill it. But it's like sometimes that's just going to be too late.
Right.
You got to get it dead.
I mean, the game just ends.
Fast.
The game is just over. He kicks Vines and then he invigorates and the game's over. Right?
It's 5 and then it would get 4 and
It's
then
about-
another 1. Yeah, that's going to one-shot him.
Yep.
Dude,
And he drew a Berserk, because why not?
because why wouldn't you? You're really dead.
Yep, that's it.
That's the game.
Of course, like, he was going to be vulnerable actually drawing the Berserk. Like, he was going to die.
Jesus,
He was going to
people.
die anyway.
Stop hitting the camera.
He was going to die from the top deck Berserk anyway, actually.
Yeah, all right, we'll get that picture of Vines up. Yeah, the Berserk made it pretty bad.
If Nathan does it on his own turn, then Joe just saves it with Vines, and then he draws Berserk and just can invigorate into Berserk when
Yeah.
Nathan's tapped out. So, like,
Yeah,
it wasn't going to win him the game, but it would have made Joe have to top deck the perfect card there.
correct.
But yeah, Nathan got smoked on camera, and I hate losing on camera as well. But, you know,
Camera's where I usually lose.
sometimes Infect kills you on turn 3. Actually, pretty commonly it does.
Yeah, I mean, it's a deck that has the potential to really blow you out.
Yep.
I'm going to go see if I can get the camera lined up again.
Alright, I'm going to bring it back to the booth. That was fun. We didn't even have to change the poison counter, because that was 10 all at once. Oh boy, that was something special. So what can we do now? Just waiting on the next round, I guess. We only have a couple minutes. That might have been the last match, actually, so we'll see.
Did I fix it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It looks good? All right.
Yeah. Yeah, Crimson Viper and
All right.
Luxac Delver Flip.
Who's Luxac Delver Flip?
Someone in the chat, I don't know.
Oh, it's
But
their name.
they're talking about how to play against Infect, and it's definitely not the most intuitive. But the more you play against it, and you get better at it, it's one of those matchups where like it's hard to get practice since not a lot of people play that deck, and there's not really like many decks like it. Like it's kind of unique in that sense.
Yeah.
It's also sort of like playing against lands, you know, like a lot of people know how to play their deck against like Rug Delver. You
Yeah.
know, they've learned.
But I mean, that's the benefit that you get from playing these, kind of fringe decks that a lot of times people don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much harder to play against. Like,
Right.
what you really need to do here is play a set of Sudden Shocks in your deck.
Yep. I
Right.
mean, that would shore up the matchup. but
Man, it would. It'd sure up a lot.
It seems like more the kind of thing like I don't think Nathan's matchup's bad here. It's just
It's if he gets a bat like that Daze is what cost him the game.
yeah,
It was exactly that daze.
The daze was very good.
There were no other
Well-
infect creatures in his hand, in Joe's
Well, it was
hand.
also the vines. Like it was multiple. It was also the noble heart giving him enough mana to do
That's
all
true because
those
he could have
things. Like, it was a
he
lot
could
of
have just
things.
he could have just vinesed on the next turn because he already had it in hand. Yeah, I mean it was just a really good hand, I suppose.
And he was on the play.
Yeah,
But
that's tough. I
It
mean
happens.
it happens, right? Like the combo deck's gonna combo you sometimes,
yeah.
and I'm hoping that's what happens when I get the World Gorger deck. Just want to combo everyone.
Nah.
Although it doesn't seem like it'd be a very entertaining deck for the cameras. Like you just kind of
No.
go infinite mana.
Yeah.
Eh.
The game's just over.
Yeah.
You can show
just
some
gotta
sweet cards.
Do some flourishes with the.
Yeah.
These are in play now.
Yeah,
No, they're
it's,
not.
It's not as cool as like Feline Longmore going off with High Tide because she gets to like do a ton of stuff.
When I played against her, she looked like it was like a DJ. Like, he was just doing lots of math really fast. It was just like, on tap, 48, 78, 91, 71, 99, which was like, what she could have just said was, I have infinite mana and I can draw my deck and you're dead.
And you
But
would
instead,
not
she
have
did
been able
all of
to-
the math. Yeah, I would have been like, you got it, man.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, I believe you. I don't think you're going to cheat.
Yeah. Alright. We'll reset some of this stuff.
Yeah, might as well go ahead and get it set up there.
We'll probably put on some people who are 2-0.
I would assume so.
Assume,
Yeah. You want me
yeah.
to go up there and tell Chuck to do that, or do you think he just kind of knows to do that?
I don't think he'll assume, but we can. We'll see.
I'll just go up there and yell, "Who's 2-0?"
Yeah.
And then pick one of them.
Yeah.
I'm looking at what they're playing.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get something good on camera next round. Something a little closer than either of the matches that we brought to you in round 2. So anyone got any ideas about Modern? Is anyone building any new decks now? I just, I'm securing some Tassigers currently tonight. I need one more plane shift Terminate. If anyone out there wants to give me a Terminate, that would be great. It's worth about 50 cents. But, I've played Splinter Twin in Modern for a good chunk of time, and I've played it with green for Tarmogoyf, but it felt okay. Not like the most intuitive thing, but Tassiger seems way more in line with what the deck would like to be doing. The card advantage seems pretty sweet there. But we'll see how things shake out. I could also just see building Affinity and going down that path, the Frank Karsten way of life, but I guess we'll see what happens. As for Standard, I am currently looking to build red-white aggro, because it seems like that's the best, or at least what everyone thinks is the best deck right now. Of course, by the time that I get all the cards, it'll probably have changed, and, you know, blue-black control will be the best deck or something, but we'll see. Richard Port in the comments had some nice words for me. I came frustratingly close at the Open a couple weeks ago, so what can you do? I did get knocked out of the tournament by a Teferi's Response out of an Infect deck, and it was a blowout, destroying my Richard Port. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's see. So one person in chat tells me that red-green aggro would be a good choice. That deck does seem pretty okay, but I guess the difference between the green and the white cards seems like the big difference there, but what can you do? Yeah, everyone loves Teferi's Response in the chat. Card's not cool. It's not cool. Yeah, it was a tough game. What?
Well, almost no one is done.
Oh.
But they're like all in the last game.
That's frustrating.
So it's like no one can get on camera, but they're not finished yet, so we can't wait. Someone make a. It seems bad.
Yeah.
That's the meandering tower shell reanimator.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Distordia says Rug Aggro with Frostwalker. I do like Frostwalker. That card is sweet.
I thought it had flying the first time I saw it, and I was like, what is this card?
Yeah, that would not be okay. I just like that it's a 2-mana thing that turns on Crater's Claws.
Oh, shit. Go back.
Yeah, that's not cool. I want to rip up every copy of that card I see. Oh, God.
So this is what Greg got knocked out of top 8 by at the Star City Open.
I mean, I was going to have to win the next round as well.
But this is what knocked you out. You were going to win the next one.
I lost the match basically because of this card.
We've talked about it,
Yeah,
and he was wrong.
it was tough. It's tough. There's a good chance I lose that game, even if I basically had a choice between porting his Inkmoth Nexus and Swords to Plowsharing it. I mean, it wasn't going to be a lethal attack, but the way it shook out was that he was able to, negate the effect of my port and blow up my one of my 2 lands, because I only had 2 lands.
Destroy that permanent.
Yeah, that's so tacked on. This card was specifically for port, too. Like, it was made in standard because port was everywhere. And they were trying to discourage everyone from playing it.
Yeah.
And it's still screwing that card over.
It's like if a player targeted you with something, destroy that player.
Like 15 years later.
Also
it's
draw 2 cards.
Still doing the exact thing that it was supposed to do.
This card could have said everything and not draw 2 cards, and it
Yes.
still would have been fine.
Yes.
But no, it's just like, also draw 2!
The draw 2 was super relevant. 'Cause
Net
it
a
drew
card.
him into the Dispel for my Swords to Plowshares
Net a
the following
card.
turn. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Oh, TX Rager. You know what feels really good is when you lock Mud out by just blowing up their lands. When we were at the Star City Open, I played against someone that watches the stream who plays Mud. I just drew all 4 Wastelands in game 3, and he didn't cast any more spells. I played a Tossiger and put a Jit on it, and the game was over. Although I will go on record as saying I don't think the Tossiger is as good as Hooting Vandals in Legacy.
In Legacy, probably not. I don't know.
Trample is so good. People don't understand, like, they forgot about Trample in Legacy because it doesn't happen. Like, there's not that much, like, there's not a lot of flying. There's almost no Trample.
Yeah, just Siege Rhino.
Yeah, but no one really plays that.
Just Phyrexian
There are
Dreadnought.
things where they just, like, can't, no one plays that either. I mean, there's True Name, but it's not Trample.
That's not
You just
Trample.
can't block it.
That's super Trample.
It might as well be Trample, or which I guess is better. No, yeah, I agree with you, Luxac Delver Flip. I don't think Tossiger is very good, although I was playing Hooting Mandrills and Bug, just because it fills a different role. Like, Tossiger is kind of like just another Tarmogoyf, which sounds good, but, like, he loses to all the same stuff Tarmogoyf loses to. Like, he'll just get chumped all day. Like, against Elves, it's like Tossiger didn't do anything. Because they just go, oh, block it with this, bounce it, cast it again. Eh.
Yep. And
Kill
it gets,
Sundering Titan. I don't know.
counter target spell.
Spell or an ability an opponent controls. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But, like, would it counter all of them? Wait, it doesn't target.
Yeah.
It doesn't target. No. Yeah, it's Sundering
Why
Titan.
on earth?
Sundering Titan does not target, so
What the
Teferi's
hell?
response not good enough. They're gonna have to go rework that. If an opponent does something that interacts with you in any way, counter it, and draw 5. 1 blue.
Yeah, R&D screwed up.
Just anything.
Yeah.
If your opponent looks at you wrong, you win. Draw 2.
So Kyle, if you had to play a standard tournament tomorrow, what would you do?
I don't know. And last Friday, I put together like 4-color whip
Okay.
because I wanted to play Sidisi, but I also wanted to play Rhino, and I also wanted to play Tossiger. I went 2-1-1. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
I just drew a lot of lands in the first couple of rounds. Like I realistically, I probably should have gone 3-1.
What was your draw with?
It was with Jeskai Ascendancy, like
Okay.
Jeskai tokens.
Oh.
Like, he, like, boarded into control, and then I drew all of my lands. And we just kind of looked at each other and then shook hands and left. Like, that was the match.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. If I had to pick, I kind of want to play, like, some sort of green-red aggro deck. Like, I still think it, like, that combining Flamewake Phoenix with Shaman of the Great Hunt
Yeah.
seems like just such a nasty combo. Like, just
Yeah.
making it so big.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. One of the things about Shaman that's unfortunate is it dies to all of the 2-mana removal, which is a little unfortunate for a 4-drop because like it can set you up for a tempo blowout, but
Yeah. I mean,
the standard
but like
format
most
is
of those
it's
mythics
a little
die to like all the 2-mana removal, right? Other than it's all of them.
all the new ones.
Yeah.
But none of them are getting played.
True that.
I mean, I guess Yasova is a little.
That's not a mythic. That's one of the rares.
What are the mythics?
Uh,
like Brutal Horde Chief, right?
yeah, Brutal Horde Chief.
Yeah.
The one of dude, the Jeskai guy.
Oh yeah, Shuyun.
Yeah, no,
No,
the
he's a
mythic,
rare.
the one that lets you buy back spells and gives him lifelink.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Well, that card's a 2-drop itself. Although it's not seeing very much play and its price is dropping.
Yeah, I opened one.
Okay. Oh, we're getting a little look at a modern deck here.
What does that do?
It looks like black, white, red tokens.
Kinda.
It's an interesting deck.
What about what's?
Luxac. I did see Tasker's ability getting activated some in Legacy at the tournament. Like,
I activated it once or
Yeah.
twice. I got they gave me a daze back. Like in Delver, like there were just a lot of bad cards.
it would be
That-
better in like Shardless.
Yeah, but even then, it's probably not a good card in Shardless. Like, it's just not that great.
You think because they don't fill up their graveyard fast
They
enough?
they don't fill up their graveyard to get it out very quickly. It's just not that great.
Yeah.
Like it needs if you're gonna play one of these Delve creatures and it isn't Tombstalker, it needs to have some sort of evasion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which is why I'm a big proponent of
Mandrills.
Mandrills.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dig Through Time does not fit in a lot of these decks. Like if you're playing Dig Through Time in Delver, you're doing it wrong.
Well, I could see some copies in blue, I read.
You were playing against a guy. Was it you that was playing against the guy that was playing 3 Hooting Mandrills in his Rug Delver list pretty late?
No, he
Someone-
played against Mark.
He played against someone else too. There was a guy doing fairly well towards the end of day 1 of the Star City Open that was playing Rug Delver with 3 Hooting Mandrills, I think, in place of the 4 geese.
Yeah. I think, well, the guy who came in, I think, 11th at the Open was Blue White Red Delver, and he was playing 2 digs. But Blue White Red can...
Blue White Red's like a 20 land deck already. Like it has the ability to do it.
Well, they also are able to get specific cards that are kind of make it worth it. Like, they can get True Name plus Jite or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
They have higher impact spells than most of the other Delver
Yeah,
decks.
whereas the other ones are just synergistic. Like you would cast it and be like, I'll take Abrupt Decay and Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, Bug Delver
That's you don't.
doesn't really make a ton of sense there.
No, I agree. Yes, Mike. Hooting Mandrills has Trample.
Yeah.
It
That's
swings
a
for
form of innovation.
swings for 3 through a True Name Nemesis,
Yeah.
which is pretty good. Also swings. If I hadn't messed up, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, Patrunkin is right. It does help. It does hurt the Miracles matchup.
I guess. I mean, if you're playing it in Bug Delver, though, you've got Abrupt Decay, so F 'em, right? Like,
Yeah, well, he's talking about specifically Rug.
if you're playing it in Rug, yeah, I guess it is a lot tougher.
Also, lands becomes tougher.
Yeah, I mean, that was just going to be tough from the start, though.
I think it was close. Like, I think I would actually rather be on the Rug Delver side if I had Mongoose.
I'd be hesitant once they had Merit Lage.
You just don't let them get Merit Lage.
But, like, it coming down turn 1 isn't necessarily that impactful. I mean, it's a 1/1 for 1 for, like, the first 4 turns.
Sure.
Right, yeah, that's what we're kind of saying, Crimson Viper. They're, like, when I went up there, I was like, all right, who's winning? And they're all still playing. They're all in, like, their last game.
Yeah. Oh well. Richton Port, I did see that he had a copy of Dust Elemental in his sideboard, and I asked him why, and he said he was just trying it out for the Miracles matchup, which seems really, really weird.
What is this? Just because it has split second, right?
It's
Or does it?
No, it has Flash.
You have
I
to, like,
think.
return 3 dudes to your hand?
Yeah,
Like, I guess
he
to, like,
was-
save your dudes from Terminus?
Right. The thing about playing against Miracles, though, is that I think a lot of your lands are typically going to be tapped because you're porting them and wasting them. So like I don't know how you're really gonna have 4 mana up on their turn unless he's anticipating them trying to terminus on your own
Or if
turn.
he's ticking his vial up to 4.
No. I think I did that once to try to put a Wool Leaf Legion in play, and I just learned just freaking hard
Just
cast
never do it.
Just never put up to
No, yeah.
'cause
When you
might as
have
well
like
just
2
light on
copies
fire,
of
then
4-drop in your deck, it's like
it's not worth the one time.
if I was gonna put
4
in
mana boost.
depending on the matchup, if I was going to put in a Hero of Bladehold, I would take it to 4.
Yeah, but I would just not play here.
Like if they're like a bolt deck, and I was like, I can put in Hero of Bladehold, you're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I was gonna play a 4-drop in Death and Taxes, I think I'd probably just play like Restoration Angel or something.
And then you could add a Chroma Angel of Fury.
No. That's like an 8-drop, right?
Yeah, but you morph it and then blink
Yeah,
it.
I got it.
You got it?
I can take my vial up to 8. Yeah, I'll get there.
No, you just tap it over 3.
Yeah.
This is the turn that you're not porting. Yeah, you look into their eyes and you know that what they're doing doesn't matter.
The match is Esper versus Lance.
What?
The only undefeated match is Esper versus Lance.
Kill me now.
What else we got? Who's doing all right?
I can put on
Wait, which lands is it? Tony or the other?
Bowman.
Okay.
I mean, we can show that.
But Esper Blade versus Land seems really boring.
It does. It really does.
It's not even Esper Blade, it's Esper Control.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
What else is there?
I could put on Simon versus Bob, but you already seen both of them.
Yeah, not that.
I could put on Tony versus Alex. Alex is on
Yeah, that one. Do that one.
What is he on?
Elves, I believe.
Wait, no, Alex Villano.
Yeah.
He's on Mono Blue Vapor Snag.
All right.
I want to see this.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
He's playing back to basics in some number.
Oh God.
Yes. Yes.
I haven't played against this guy yet. I really want to because that seems like an unlosable matchup for me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to lose. Vial seems really important for you there.
Yep.
What are you talking about? Was this 2 blue decks? Crimson Viper. This is Rug Lands versus a mono blue Vapor Snag deck.
Yes.
That's what I call it because that's pretty much what it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Alex didn't want to, so I
Okay.
put Kyle and Nikhil on.
Who's okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
What is this now?
So we are
Playing new sword.
Esper Blade versus Black White Tokens.
Okay. All right. New Soren.
Apparently he's playing this.
Welcome to Legacy Soren.
Maybe we'll see it resolve against the Delver deck, although I don't know about that.
Which Delver?
Blue Eye Red.
Oh, this is Houtman.
Yeah, it's Helmet.
All right, I'm gonna drop us from the booth here. So this is Kyle Houtman on the left.
Yep. No, we the matchup has changed. We're now looking at Blue Eye Red Blade versus what sounds like Black White tokens.
It might be sort of like a
Stefan's back.
dead guy ale.
Look at him.
Yeah, I don't really ever think about myself.
Is it Delver? They just wrote Just Guy Blade on here.
Well, he's been playing Delver.
Yeah, well, we'll see if we see
I
a
could
Delver.
be corrected. You want to spell? He's playing.
I don't want to spell it, but Black White Tokens?
I would.
That's what it sounded like. It's just Dead Guy Ale tokens, but that's not an accurate description. I
I mean, dead guy ale could mean like any black-white deck, basically.
But that's not what it means. Dead Guy Ale is very specific.
All right. Well, it's been adopted.
Cal.
Perfect.
Oh shit! Just start the timer.
Yeah. No.
No. Oh come
No,
on, Greg.
sorry.
Greg. You did this.
I did. Perfect.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right.
And these players are 1-1.
Presumably. Where we got that? This one?
No.
No. There are too many of these
down.
things.
It should be. Oh, maybe it's up.
No.
Nope. Oh, those record left player. Yeah. All right. Players deciding who's going first. I think this matchup probably favors black-white. Lingering Soul seems good against.
I think a lot of it's going to depend on how low to the ground the tokens deck can get here. Although this does, I see Stoneforge Mystics.
I think I also saw Zealous Persecution in the main.
This looks very
spicy.
modern.
It does, considering he doesn't have Scrubland.
Woof.
And he is also dropping to 16. So this might be. It seems like it's probably just a bit of a budget version.
Hang on to your butts.
Yeah. All right. So turn 1 Thoughtseize. He's got Stoneforge in his hand. So yeah, he's taking the Delver. He's taking the threat away from Kyle.
That seems like what you want, but that's a lot of counterspells if you're going to try to resolve anything.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
it's just the days in terms of creatures.
right. Like if he tries
Spell Pierce
to,
is probably good against a token deck.
but like if his opponent continues to play Shocklands untapped, then like he probably just wants to
Get a Delver down.
get a bunch of bolts.
Yeah.
Just draw. There's one.
There's one.
Think you ponder here?
He needs a red land.
I'm thinking you ponder.
Probably Ponder.
I don't.
I mean, he can hold up Spell Pierce and Brainstorm end of
I think
turn,
he's
but
debating
that's-
brainstorming.
that's-
He's. I think there are combo thoughts going through his head right now, and he's gonna brainstorm. Yeah.
Perhaps.
This could be bad for you, Kyle.
Well,
I guess you have a ponder, so you can shuffle it away.
I don't I think brainstorming end of turn here is pretty greedy. I mean, he's just gonna wind up dazing this, presumably. So yeah, so he is going for brainstorm. If he doesn't hit land, it's not gonna be pretty. All right, he hit 1. That's
He hit a
fine.
land. That's good.
He also has a dig. So he probably doesn't. He probably wants to put the Batter Skull away, I would think.
Yeah, the batter skull and maybe the dig.
think
I mean, he has
he-
to draw one of them.
Yeah,
So I think
would
you
shuffle away.
opt to not.
Because next turn you can ponder and presumably shuffle.
Yeah, and he can hold up bolt here. I think you probably don't.
You really don't want the Batter Skull.
You really want to ponder that away.
Alright.
The thing here is that like
He needs land.
he needs a true name.
Or just a Stoneforge. Something.
Well, it looks like his opponent just has Zealous Persecution and Stoneforge Mystic
And 2 more lands.
and 2 more lands. So
Kyle kept on that ponder. I think just
and
'cause
drew
he had
another land.
Just because he had a 3rd land in the pile. I think I would have gotten more greedy there.
when
'cause-
shuffled.
Well, he's going to have several blank turns now, and he's out of cantrips.
Well, he's gonna bolt that
Okay.
presumably.
And then what? Like, he's many turns away from
He can
a
almost
creature.
dig. He has to cast 2 more spells
he
to
has
dig.
Alright, so he'll just dig through everything. Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah, he's very close.
If Nikhil,
Just love watching
yeah,
Stefan type.
if Nick can find a Thoughtseize or something to take the dig, it's gonna be brutal.
Ballsy Balzerson over here going with the old
B-Skull?
B-Skull, man. I think I'd get that Jit
Yeah, well,
because I'm all about that Jit.
right.
I mean, against this deck, you might as well, right? Like it's blue, white, red Delver. They've got so much removal.
Yeah, he might not know exactly.
He's
the
seen
makeup.
his hand.
It's
I guess he
true.
didn't see
He hasn't
red.
seen all the creatures.
He didn't see Bolt
He
or
just seen Delver.
yeah.
Although he's seen, I think he hasn't seen red necessarily. Alright, so Bolt going after Stoneforge.
Yeah. And now he holds up Spell Pierce and then digs at some point.
Yeah, it'll be next turn probably. Or next turn.
Looks
he
like he's
would
got
at
another
least have
brainstorm.
Access.
Yeah. He'll have the option.
Yeah.
Is that a V-click?
Yeah, I think he's playing 1 in the main.
Okay.
He copied the list that he beat. So Kyle was playing Sneak and Show at the Open, and he played against Mark Castillo, or Castillo, who got, I think, 11th. And I think Kyle grew to like his opponent's deck more than his own during that match.
That's kind of what happened to me when I played There was a tournament that I was playing in.
Yeah.
There was a tournament that I was playing in. It was a Star City Open, and I was playing what was Dream Halls back then, where you won by casting. No, he's casting a chains. Shock landed to chains. Well, you don't want to let him resolve that. Yeah, alright. Lets him have the chains of Mephistopheles.
Yeah. Chains, Alright, Spell Pierce going after the intangible virtue.
Yeah, well, luckily, Dig Through Time doesn't
Gets
care about
around it.
chains.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
What do you think you do here? Do you think he's going to click him? Because he'll have to discard a card before he draws a card? I think he might have just gotten womboed. I would click my opponent, man. After his draw step?
Well, this way he can play Delver and he can also dig end of turn.
Yeah, but if he clicks him right now, he takes away his only meaningful card, and
Well,
then
he didn't know that he was only gonna have one.
right, but the
meaningful card.
value, right? Because he puts a card on the bottom of his library, then he has to discard a card before he can draw a card for click
Okay.
because of chains. So he goes down 2 cards, or he goes down a card.
It affects both players equally.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he probably doesn't realize that. Or he
Like,
could just be doing it.
Click
next
lets him
turn.
use that to his advantage, I think, a lot.
He could also just do that same thing this turn.
But the issue here is that
Lingering.
he
Souls
could have
is
taken
good.
that Lingering Souls away.
Yeah.
It's tough. Lingering Souls is so good against Delver decks. Now, fortunately, we have the option to get some true names up in here. But his opponent has a Zealous Persecution in his hand, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough.
He might fire that out sooner rather than later, though. However, also Kyle can try to get Jitte into play and.
Kyle's
maneuver
keeping a
around
lot of
it.
lands. I think he just wants to play that Batter Skull.
Yeah, I think you want to take spells and just incidentally draw the lands.
I agree, especially in a 20 land version of Delver. It's not gonna be that terrible.
Yeah, it's just. It's not like Swords is very good here. I would probably take the Delver, though. Just more threats. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's gonna trade those 2 tokens for that Delver if it flips, and then he would trade 2 tokens for another Delver if it flips.
Right. I guess he really just wanted to find, a true name in that pile, but.
Yeah, but like I said, even then, True Name's not that great.
Yeah, well, Kyle doesn't know about the
If
Zealous Persecution.
If I was Kyle and I found a couple of Wastelands, I'd just go after his black.
I think Nick's thinking about double blocking here.
I think he's thinking about it for sure. And if he does, and Kyle wastes one of his duels there, he will make it to where his only option next turn is probably going to be just flashing it back.
Yeah, so it looks like he is going to double block. Does he have the swords? Yep. Okay. That's not the end of the world for Nick, really.
No.
He still has the other half of Lingering Souls here.
But the Delver lives, and that's pretty good. I think Kyle already cast his Spell Pierce.
Yep. Nick gaining 1 life there. Now he's left with the decision of...
I think you go ahead and waste.
Is he going to activate his Wasteland, or is he just going to play it and try to get a 5th land?
I think you waste.
So what is it what is taking him off 4 mana accomplish? It might
I
make
think
his days better.
Well, it might make him not have black if you can find more Wastelands.
Okay, but he doesn't have to do it yet then.
No, you don't.
Because
Click him.
if
I
he
really
has-
do
if
want
he
him
gets-
to click him here in his draw
yeah,
step.
he might. Yeah, so he's doing it after he draws. I think he's realized about the chains trick there, but with this on the stack, he might fire off a Zealous. Nope. Okay.
I think you take the Bitter Blossom and you make him discard a draw.
Sure.
Make him choose between Zealous Persecution and Batter Skull. Because he can daze that Batter Skull. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, the
Zealous
Battle Spell doesn't
Persecution's a
matter.
one-shot deal, so...
Right. Persecution's not that great here. Yeah, Bitter Blossom's probably the best card in the hand. So what's happening here is the card's going on the bottom. He's not going to be able to draw.
Then he discards and then draws.
He basically rummages, right?
Yeah.
He found a 5th land. This could take Kyle off of white mana.
Could.
It looks like he is flashing back Lingering Souls here. That's going to resolve. And he's still holding the Zealous Persecution. Alright, this is going to be poor.
What's up?
If I was going to... Well, I guess he was always going to wait on the Persecution. He knows that Kyle has Daze in hand.
Does he? Oh, because he revealed it to Delver, sure.
Right. This isn't going to work right for Ponder, is it? Or he's going to have to discard, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah. He'll look at the top 3, and then discard a card, and then draw a card.
Okay, great. What a fun card. What a fun, interesting card. It's worth, what, like $200 or something?
What, chains?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
It's got sweet art.
I traded a bunch of stuff in when I got mine.
It's an attack for 6 here. I wonder if he's...
How much do you want to kill that click?
So Kyle actually discarded his Batterskull. I guess he decided that ship had sailed.
I kind of...
He might double block and try to Zealous... He knows about the days, though. So it's awkward.
Yeah, he knows about the days, so it's tough. It's very tough. I mean, you could just make him throw it away.
I'd probably just single
But I think he's
block.
happy to.
You just single block the click, maybe? Or... Actually, no. You could just double block the Insectile Aberration and then Zealous Persecution on your own turn.
Yeah, I think you definitely can. Oh, man. What are life totals at this point?
He just took 6. Everything else was right.
Kyle hasn't been hurt at all. He hasn't fetched.
I don't think so.
I haven't seen him do it.
Nope. I think he drew all those lands. And he's still sitting on a force.
So, but the nice part here is that Kyle knows he has Zealous Persecution.
Yeah, so Nick has played around
And I'm
Daze
thinking
well,
Kyle's
but
gonna
he's
counter
walked
it.
into Force of Will. Yeah. Knew it before the cards were turned over. There's Kyle taking a point of life. Blocks were double blocking the Delver.
And then he plays the true name here.
Oof. So baited out the Zealous Persecution very well there.
Yeah. This is a tight spot.
I imagine that Kyle named his opponent with the true name.
I would assume.
And this is... Looks like a 2-turn clock that's going to be pretty hard to interact with.
Yeah, I mean, he can draw a removal for the click, but that's pretty much it.
Well,
I mean,
he can draw Zealous Persecution and get them both.
yeah, he could. That'd be
If
real
he,
good.
If he has more in the deck, in the main deck.
That'd be very, very good. I'd
Would
start
be-
taking him off black now. Like, just bank on drawing more wastelands.
But, like...
Yeah,
Yeah.
get ya. No, kill his Shockland. I mean, it's probably not going to matter too much.
Yeah.
There we go. He's dead. Alrighty, so.
The thing about wasting is, like... You have to be doing it to make your, like, soft permission good, or to be completely taking them off, like, stopping them from being able to cast certain cards. Because, like, past that, there is value of, like, getting to 4 lands, because then if he draws Jitte, he can play and equip it in 1 turn. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, what can you do? That seemed like a tough game for Nick.
Yeah, I think Nick was going to be very hard-pressed to do much of anything there.
Yeah. The matchups doesn't seem terrible for him, really. Chain seems good, but...
Chain seems fine. Chain's main is aggressive.
Yeah.
I think that Lingering Souls is very good. Bitter Blossom's very good. But I think that the downside to all of these cards is that he's running True Name Nemesis.
Also, Kyle gets to play, like, Brainstorm and Ponder.
Yeah, Kyle's making some interesting decisions on what he can really bring in here. Like, what do you
Yeah.
even want? Like,
Looking at Ethersworn Canonist, I don't think that really does much, but he probably really doesn't have a ton for this matchup. Wear Tear seems great,
yeah.
but like he's pulling the meddling. This might largely depend on how many cards he thinks he has in the main that are bad.
Yeah.
I don't think many of them really are, actually.
I think, like,
he can trim a Ponder.
Daze is, like, when you're on the draw against that deck's probably not great, but, like, his
I
curve...
think he has to leave it in. Like, Nick's deck is fairly expensive.
Like,
in terms
the
of
issue here
casting
is I
cost,
think you
right?
probably just want to take out your You probably just want to take out your Force of Wills here.
Really?
I mean, what are you countering with it? Lingering Souls? I mean, like,
Or the
it's just
Anthem.
like we're not playing in a Treasure Cruise world anymore. Like,
Yeah, but he doesn't have anything else to bring in. Like, is that the first card you're cutting?
yes.
You can cut like 2 Force of Wills for a Wear Tear and a Sword of Feast and Famine.
I mean, if you're only bringing in 2 cards.
I wouldn't bring in Meddling Mage. I think Force of Will is better than Meddling Mage.
Maybe.
I mean, I guess it has 2 toughness, so it gets around.
Yeah, I mean,
Ghost
it's something that
Persecution?
lives to swing. Yeah.
But that doesn't seem great. So it looks like he's pulling out a couple dazes.
Yeah, I think you can afford to trim
On the
some.
draw, that seems fine. I mean, also with Force, you can just counter their Stoneforge.
Counter spells aren't great here, though. I don't think.
But like, he's better at playing an attrition game than Black-White is, because he has Dig and Cantrips.
He has a dig.
I think he has 2.
I thought he said he had 1, or did he has 2 and he left 1 in once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. No change does not go infinite with itself. Each of your draws would be a replacement, in fact.
Yeah, that would be a hell of a thing.
There was a cool deck that I saw that was playing, it was playing Chains, 4 Chains main, and, 4, what's that 2 mana and 2 mana artifact that makes it to where when things untap, everyone mills?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Is it Illusionary something?
No, it starts with an M, right? Mesmeric.
Mesmeric Orb, yeah. So it had 4 Mesmeric Orb, 4 Chains of Mephistopheles, and then like a bunch of main deck surgical extractions and shit.
Yeah.
And it just wants to just take away everyone's decks.
Something I've neglected to do tonight is I want to thank Luxac and AMTGA, who are both new followers tonight, and of course, also we should thank Dumb Mother for following yet again.
Stefan, how does Chains work with Humility plus Opalescence?
I don't know.
No one wants to know.
Go write me an essay. It's due Monday, next Monday.
No, not that. Stefan, I want
Stefan
I want
can
an
write
essay tomorrow.
Oh.
Send it to Greg, he'll edit it.
Yeah, I won't read it. But... All right, players shuffling up for game 2. I wonder what sideboard things Nick could have access to. Maybe just like disenchant infects, stuff to blow up some of Kyle's equipment.
It's tough, right? Because I mean, I imagine he probably, depending on how many Zealous Persecution he's running in the main board, he probably ups that number.
Yeah, it seems great here. The only thing it doesn't kill that's like obvious is just Flip Delver. Yeah, I guess
Flip
it doesn't
Delver
kill
and Stoneforge.
Sure. Like Stoneforge is such an anemic equipment carrier anyway, though.
Yeah, but sometimes it'll do it. Like I mean,
Yeah.
it's like if he puts a JIT on it, it's gonna be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna get those blockers out of the way.
I think one thing is Nick might know now that he should probably go for Jit first over Batterskull. That looks like 4 or 5 lands also in Nick's hand.
I can't really see.
I see
what's in there.
3 white border cards, and they all look like
Looks
lands.
like Kyle's got
Oh, no, those are 2 Swords to Plowshares.
3 land, Brainstorm, Delver, Spell Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going with the turn 1 Delver, because why not? Little does he know that his opponent has... Oh, man. I don't think Kyle has the days. But his opponent's going to try to EOT swords.
Well, he has 2 swords, so
Yeah.
I don't mind being a little aggressive with that.
No, you can. I mean, I think you want it off the table.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a play you want to make on turn 2.
Also, if they have the days and you have the second swords, it's going to set them back basically 2 turns in terms of land drops.
What is that Nevermore for?
Maybe True Nemesis. That's the most obvious thing. Oh, return to Bitter Blossom. I think I would force a will.
I think you force the will to Better Blossom. I agree.
Pitching Ponder seems fine. He also has a Brainstorm and a... Yeah, he also has a Brainstorm in hand, but I think he also has a fetch land, so the Brainstorm is probably more valuable than the Ponder at this point. Ooh.
Yeah, maybe he wouldn't have done that if the...
Yeah, if he had already had the Wear Tear, he might have let the...
But he
Bitter
does have a
Blossom
fetch
resolve.
land, so Brainstorm's pretty good here.
Yep.
That's
So
pretty
he
good.
Found a
Put
Stoneforge, a
the
land, and a Pierce.
Put
So
the land back.
he can hold up Pierce this turn.
Yep. Or just let something resolve and just wear tear it.
Right.
Either is fine in this situation.
Yes. So Kyle just passing the turn back.
Yep, but he's got the Stone Forge, so next turn he's going to be able to get some stuff going.
This looks like a stone. Nope.
Chains.
Yeah, that's worth a spell pierce.
Yeah, I think it's worth not letting that happen.
Yeah, I mean, it nerfs so many cards in Kyle's deck. Well, I guess it's really just 8.
I mean, he already brainstormed,
enough.
so you only want to do that like once.
Sure. Boy. All right.
Yeah, so
Kyle also dropping to 18 off of the fetch there.
yep, and we got that Chains joining Bitter Blossom in the sideboard. I mean, this is just one of those matchups where there's like all these soft counter spells are really tough for the token stack to get around. I mean, if he starts just slamming Lingering Souls, it's going to be really good, but
Well, it's difficult when you don't lead off the game with a Thoughtseize or something to clear the way and give you a clear vision of like what your turn should look like.
yeah.
Stoneforge coming down here. I think Kyle already has the Jit in hand.
Jit.
I think I would get the Feast and Famine. That seems pretty good in this matchup. Yeah, and he does. I think that's better than Batterskull here. The untap is pretty relevant, and so is the making Nick discard, actually. Kyle gonna go up to 19 life here after he gets his Stoneforge Mystic Plowed. And is that engineered explosives in his hand? Can you tell what that?
Oh, whose hand next?
There was an artifact in Nick's hand that I'm not familiar with that art.
If
anyone can let me know in the chat.
Did not see it.
It has like a red sphere on it. It looked like.
I just keep seeing this Nevermore.
Yeah, he still has the Nevermore.
Really not sure where to pull that one off.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna slam it. And
why not? It's like, I don't know what you name.
I think you name True Name.
I mean,
also name like Delver Secrets or something.
the real tough part here for Kyle is that he's about to get taken off a color and a land.
Yeah,
I mean,
presumably.
He's very behind.
Well, Nick is down to just one card in hand.
Yeah. He's able to play around days for this.
All right. Hopefully they write this and we can see
Yeah,
what it says.
I'm interested to
I can
know.
always just run up. My best guess.
No, Killer Kevin. That has to resolve. Yeah. Like, it can't trigger itself within its own resolution.
That's his True Name, I believe.
Yeah. It looks like he's Nevermore True Name Nemesis. For some reason, he didn't Wasteland him. That's interesting.
Yeah, he might have an expensive card in his hand that he wants to be able to cast.
Is it Soren?
Might be. I didn't get a good look. That's a Jitte, though. And that Wear Terran, Kyle's just sitting on it.
Yeah, I mean,
Anytime,
he doesn't have to pull the trigger until he needs to do
yeah.
something.
Anytime Nick puts out an artifact, he's going to really be able to get Nick good. Looking at the Wasteland now. Might be thinking about whether or not he should try to go after a color.
Seems like you want a Wasteland, move to the second main, and cast whatever big spell you have.
Yeah, I would take him off of white.
Like, the issue here is I think he has to worry about whether or not he wants to play around days, or whether or not he wants to play around... Okay, interesting. Or Spell Pierce, alright.
I mean, you take him off of white, right? Like, white's the more populous color in their deck.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, they might have taken Bolt out of the deck completely against you. See a fetch end of turn here. Neither player being able to stick a threat yet. Everything's just gone Swords to Plowshare so far.
It's tough.
Kyle hurting for a third land, though.
Then at this point, he actually can't get that Nevermore out of the way to be able to cast a True Name.
Yeah, I mean, he can still use it as a effective shatter if something like Jitte came down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess his opponent is running some number of Stoneforge Mystics. So.
Looks like he's sitting on reactive cards, though.
And it looks like Kyle's stuck doing the same. Drew a Lightning Bolt for the turn.
Another land for Nick.
Force of Will for Kyle.
Yeah.
He's got 7 cards, I think. Nick going down to 17.
Fetching at the time that most modern decks fetch here, since sometimes he's getting getting some shock lands instead of...
Yeah, I guess he just wants a lot of black-white lands in this deck for optimum Blood Moon lossage.
Yeah. He might have some heavy color requirements. Inquisition.
Resolves? I mean, it's what, are you going to force it?
Yeah. I mean, he's probably going to take this wear tear. Or it's at least likely.
Yeah, I agree.
Or is that a... Oh, no, that's a true name. He could take it, but... I mean... Well, I guess if he takes the wear tear, the Nevermore is not going to get destroyed.
Probably not.
So it turns off... He's actually forcing it. Wow.
And throwing his other counterspell away to do so. That's interesting.
Well, he's really trying to protect the wear tear, because whenever he draws white mana, like... Whenever he
Shoot another force.
Whenever he can find Tundra, he's going to be able to destroy the Nevermore and then slam True Name the following turn.
Yeah.
You know?
This
That's a
game is
waste.
going nowhere quickly.
Yeah, Kyle's just enabled to find white mana here.
Yeah, it's like, do you... Yeah, all right, just get it out there. Why
Sword,
not?
Yep.
That way, anything you draw, you just stick everything on it.
Yep.
And I think you get that swords on it first, for sure.
Yeah. I don't really hate the Force of Will on the Inquisition was definitely aggressive, and he's not getting paid off for it because he's not drawing.
I don't think
the
it was.
land.
I don't think that it was necessarily wrong, but it's very aggressive.
Yes. I mean, Nick just needs to draw any threat, and now is the Lingering Souls, which presumably he's going to do both halves of.
Now the big question in here: does he counter the flashback? Does he force the flashback?
He'd have to pitch the True Name.
Oh, is that what that is in his hand?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
at
don't
this
think
point,
that-
you
that
gotta
doesn't
wonder.
seem worth
It's like,
it.
are you gonna draw?
It's not that fast of a clock. It's just
Yeah.
Lingering Souls. There's
true.
no equipment, and whenever you actually are able to draw the white mana and do the sequence to get True Name into play, it's like very quickly going to negate whatever these. What is this?
It's a masterwork of ingenuity.
That's the card I didn't know earlier.
That is Masterwork of Ingenuity. It is from the new Commander deck. It's a
God.
1-mana equipment clone.
So it's copying one of these two on Kyle's side. Any equipment on the battlefield.
It is a 1-mana equipment clone.
Holy crap.
So,
What
get a
would you-
Jit.
What would you pick?
Jit?
Would you?
Why not? Yeah, why not?
If you go Sword of Feast and Famine, you just rip Kyle's hand apart.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think Kyle has to...
He has to draw a white mana right now, and he can have an amazing wear tear. Did he point to Jitte there? That was a dig through time.
Yeah, I think he gets that out of the way.
All right.
At this point, casting True Name...
Yeah, the True Name plan's gone out the window, it seems like. So he might just pitch it to Force at the nearest opportunity now.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like the worst sequence there for Kyle, really.
I think that Masterwork's neat. I wonder if that's in his sideboard or what.
Yeah, I could see it. Because, I mean, it's sort of like filling a similar role to Manriki Gazari, because it's like an equipment you can Stoneforge in Stoneforge mirrors.
Yeah. I mean, like, being able to get a 1-mana Batterskull is really good.
It's okay, but so often in Stoneforge mirrors, Batterskull's like not the best
Right,
equipment.
you just use it to block their Batterskull, then pay 3 and get another equipment for 1.
I guess.
The implications are endless.
I think they end.
Did you -2 on
I
Kyle
did.
there? Okay, so we got some white land here. Kyle cannot cast the True Name.
Yeah. Inquisition. This is... Well, he's going to let it resolve, I think, and then he's going to dig.
Yeah, because he can't take dig.
Yeah. The only thing he can take here is True Name and Lightning Bolt. Bolt is pretty anemic. Yeah, he just lets this resolve.
Let it happen.
Like,
I mean, he could have bolted him to ensure that he takes True Name. I mean...
Doesn't really... I think he'd actually rather him take the Bolt, because this is still a blue card to pitch to Force.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, Bolt is doing nothing here. This should be an attack for 4 here. Putting Kyle down to 12.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is starting to become... he's down at 11 now. He just fetched.
Sure.
This is starting to become
It's a 3-turn clock.
pretty tough for Kyle, yeah.
He just needs to be able to attack with Jitte on an equipment on a creature, so...
Yeah.
It's a race. Good old-fashioned race. Dig in.
Now the big question here is, do you go ahead and tap those? Why wouldn't you just tap the Wastelands and delve fewer cards?
Yep. I agree.
I think you can afford to keep some cards in your graveyard for the next dig, because you might find another dig with this dig.
It's possible.
That's. I think you really wanna think about that when you're playing delve spells. It's like, just because you can only tap 2 doesn't mean that you necessarily should.
Yep.
Your opponent's not playing any counter spells, so it's.
So it looks like he's taking Delver and a Swords to Plowshares. There's a bunch of land in there and a Daze. Daze is not really going to do much except pitch to force. I think Plow actually does more in case Nick draws an equipment, because then he can fog the equipment with the Swords to Plowshares.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, back to Kyle's turn.
He's really got to get these equipment on these creatures, though.
Yes, he does. Well, he's going to deploy the Delver this turn.
I think he's to get a Delver and put the sword on it is the first thing you got to do here.
Put the sword on it just to get around black removal, in case there's or Zealous Persecution, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. See, and you look at the situation we're in right now. If he had tapped those 2 Wastelands that he did nothing with last turn, he would have six cards in his graveyard right now.
Sure.
He'd be able to just dig again if he'd found
Did
one.
he draw? Oh, yeah. So he didn't find one, but yeah. Still, like, best operations, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, this looks like a response to the equip. He has Zealous Persecution.
And we're going to go ahead and see a Force of Will on that.
Yeah, he needs this Delver to live.
It's tough, but I think you really want it to not die.
Yeah.
Although it's going to feel really bad if your opponent just swords it.
Yep. I mean, he has to make this play, though.
Yeah, I agree. I think he has to.
He's not in a winning position. It's only going to be getting worse here. Kyle's dropping to 10 in the process.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
He really needs that Delver to flip.
Yeah. It would definitely
so
help.
that he can't
So he
just hold
trades
back.
with all of them?
Well, he wouldn't trade. He'd probably just swords one of them.
Oh, right. Ooh, that's a big hit. This is a swing for 8.
You can almost concede to that.
Well, he could swords 1.
Kyle's at 2.
Electing not to. No. So, yeah, he is killing 1. So I think he's only taking 6.
And Nick's going up 2 to 19. Oof.
Yeah.
This is bad news bears here.
Delver not cooperating here.
I'm thinking this game's pretty much over.
Sasquatch in the chat asks me if I wanted to come over to his house tomorrow, and I would tell such a relentless troll that I would never consort with such a person.
So you think he's just going to swing in here with his Delver?
I think he has to. He's going to just die, right? It's not like they like
Yeah.
yeah. He needs to gain life. He needs to gain life or like kill something.
You know, we've neglected to keep up with Foil. He's triple blocking.
Yeah, this is great for. This is good for Kyle.
1, 2, 3. Assigning 1 to each of them.
Yeah.
Or no?
He had 3 power
2
to
and
give.
2 and 1, and then he's
finishing
gonna
off one of them.
Fire off on that
This
one.
actually lets Kyle live.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's
That
not too
turn
bad.
worked out pretty well. I mean, he doesn't have another creature, which is the problem. But if this is Nick's last creature, he might be able to have bought himself a few turns, actually. That looked like a plow.
Going for
Nick's
2
in.
damage. So Kyle's at 1.
After fetching. I think he might have just been thinning his library there.
Maybe, man. This is tough.
It's awkward, though, because you fetch... Unless he's using the mana here, because, like... An uncracked fetch is more valuable against a wasteland deck.
An uncracked fetch is also really good if you draw Brainstorm.
But he does have something to do here. And it's a click.
His opponent has the Swords to Plowshares, but
Yeah.
does he want to give him life?
Freshly drawn swords. He let him do it, so you put the swords on the bottom.
I think you have to.
Oh boy.
I feel like you've almost got to kill that thing.
You 100% do. Yeah. You know. Alright, this is probably going to be a double equip.
Yeah.
Unless he has something else to do with the mana. Yeah. Equipping both.
These equipment might just take the game over here.
Yep.
So
Does
we've
Nick
currently
have
got
interaction?
a 4-2.
Looks like a chump block.
Or no, it's a 5-3. Yeah, sorry.
Yep. So he's not giving Kyle the sword trigger, but he does get the.
He does get the jit
Yeah.
counters, which is I think that's all he wants.
Sasquatch in the chat asking what just happened, and I think
His,
basically Nick missed the opportunity to kill the Vendilion Click with the ability on the stack.
Yeah. Like he could have just put the trigger on there and swords it. I mean, I just think you can't let Kyle have a threat here.
Yeah, there's a chance that he didn't know that that was
An option?
Yeah, it's not the most intuitive
He needs
thing.
to remember that next time. I hope Kyle lets him know that he could have done it. After the match, at least. Assuming that this game ends in Kyle's favor here.
Yeah, it's looking like this is Kyle turning the corner.
Yeah.
Really did not seem like he was going to win this game.
No.
And Stoneforge probably getting Batterskull, the last equipment.
For optimum equipping
It
to...
might not see the light of day here.
I don't think it matters.
Although actually,
oh yeah,
he
he's
can
gonna
cast
untap
it.
his lands and
Yeah,
cast it.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Why not?
And his opponent has 2 cards in hand. Let's see what they are.
Well, I think one was a land.
Yeah,
Nice.
one was a land. I don't think he played a land. Oh no, because it was the end of his turn.
This is gross. Is this almost lethal? How much is he swinging for here?
He pumped once.
Yes.
So that's currently 5 and then an additional 2, so 7.
Sure.
Put him to 12. He discards a card. He untaps his lands.
And this is a hard cast Batterskull. Yep.
He's like, what?
Yeah, that sword.
How did you tap
Sword.
7 mana?
Sword was pretty cool right there.
Yes. Well, now, then I think the worst play here is if Kyle activates that fetch land.
Yeah, it's
Like
not
he like
ideal.
messes up and kills himself.
Well, he could always
No,
activate Jit and then fetch.
he could do that, but he can't. He cannot fix it if he.
Right.
This store is located at Broadway and Bryn Mawr. It's like northern side of the city, right off the Red Line train,
Yep. Near the water.
near the lake.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna need a hell of a draw step out of Nick's deck right here.
Yeah, this is. Oh no!
If he could like swords the.
That's not even good enough.
Well, he can swords the click in combat to prevent the Jite from being lethal.
Do you equip the
You can
sword?
move it over.
I think you equip the sword to the Batterskull.
You can move it. I mean,
And what do you? You're gonna untap your lands if he doesn't block anyway. And it
yes.
gains you more life.
I could see benefit
There's-
to just moving stuff
there's the
around
concession.
some, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that letting that the Vendilion Click live there was
Yeah, that was the game.
that was tough stuff. Tough stuff.
All right. So
Wow.
That was most of round 3. There's about 11 minutes left in the round.
Yeah, we can see if there's anyone still playing, but odds are it's probably all pretty close.
Yeah,
now.
probably everyone's winding down. The later in the night, obviously, some people drop. People are tired. If they're not doing that well, they're gonna head home. So the rounds usually turn over a bit faster as the night wears on. We'll see if that proves to be the case here.
All right.
We just saw Kyle Houtman defeat Nikhil Malekal. I think that's how you pronounce it.
I don't know how to say it.
Or Malekal. I'm not sure. But,
I don't know. I don't know. I can only phoneticize and it'd be wrong.
yeah. What do you think of the Jeskai Delver deck? Do you like it?
I never really liked it in the first place.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a derpy deck. It
Yeah,
runs
a bit
10 dudes.
terrible
Runs a
mana.
bunch of land.
Bunch of bad mana. No basics.
Well, that's not the issue.
Piece of crap.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Blue Red Delver, and I never was. I played it a couple times, and it just never felt very good.
Yeah.
Like, I would much rather play most of the other ones.
Yeah, me too. if I was playing a red Delver deck, I'd want to play Young Paramancer at this point because that card's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's nowhere near as good as it was, but it's still very good.
Yeah, it's alright, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like having Abrupt Decay as an option for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeskai Delver's in a weird place. I think that I mean, at this point they're running like significantly fewer swords in the main than they used to.
There's too many matchups where they're terrible, right? Like,
Yeah.
not many decks in Legacy can afford to have 8 just creature removal, spot removal spells in the main deck because, like, you draw 3 against Storm and you are very dead.
Yeah.
Or any
Of course, they're
number
also
decks.
playing like 4 Spell Pierce.
Sure.
Like their deck, because they just don't have very many dudes in it.
Yeah.
They have like a lot of weird
The
things.
chance that they get a good clock is not actually great.
And the issue there with the whole bolt swords thing is that you run into the situation where your deck is pulled in 2 very different directions. Where it's like one is like a Delver Days Bolt You direction, and the other one is like a Stoneforge Batterskull Swords Your Stuff direction, and like it's very conflicting.
Bolt in Rug Delver is a split spell. It is half Flame Slash, half like Lava Spike, right? But in like I mean, Swords to Plowshares is always just one thing. Like, it's never going to their dome.
Yeah, the lack of versatility there is kind of tough, and that's kind of the thing with Bug Delver too. It's like your removal that you would have main does nothing against a lot of combo.
Right.
It's like, you know, if someone storms off, you can Abrupt Decay a Goblin token.
Doesn't sound great. Does not.
Yeah, it's.
Decay is a more versatile card, though, in general. Like,
Johnny Turbo, I think if you're worried about, like, the issue with the deck also is that it is still a Daze/Wasteland deck. So like if you're Path to Exiling their dudes, you're just making half your cards also not really do much. I mean, in some matchups, having a Path to Exile is fine because they just don't have anything to get. But in other ones, you're just making a lot of your spells a lot worse. Like you can't just free win them with Wastelands, and your Dazes are a lot less live.
I like Path more out of the sideboard in Legacy.
Yeah, because I mean, in some matchups it's 1 mana exile target creature.
Yeah, it's just a 5th
dispatch.
better swords.
Yeah,
but in too many matchups, like, you really don't even want to like have Path against like Elves, a matchup where you want like tons of spot removal, but you don't want to give Elves more mana. You know.
Yeah.
Just not really in
No.
line.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess sometimes there are some cards and elves that you just have to make go away.
Yeah, mostly Wirewood Symbiote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Card's pretty great. What am I resetting here? Oh, player records.
Yeah, I'm gonna run upstairs and see how it's looking.
All right.
/ grab a beverage.
Okie doke. Kyle's gonna go get some vodka. He's gonna be back in a minute. And we'll see if we can get something entertaining on for round 4 here. Let's see. Just resetting some of the overlay. So I think there's another Star City coming up this weekend. I think it's in Houston, I want to say. I'm guessing if it's in Texas, it's going to be Standard, because that's mostly what people play down there from what I've heard. It'll be interesting to see how Standard has evolved over the past couple weeks, or if much at all, because so much of the focus of the higher level community has been on Modern, and the weekend before it was on Legacy because of Indianapolis, and we can see if there have actually been like major evolutions in Standard. And people haven't really gotten that much time to play with the new cards from Fate Reforged, and a card like Tasigur is kind of still people are still figuring out like where's the best place to put that. Is it like in a bug deck? Is it in Abzan aggro, Abzan midrange, Abzan control? Who knows? But I think I'm gonna try playing Storm Breath Dragon for the first time ever, so we'll see if that goes well. I want to play Monastery Mentor, but I think that version of Red-White is just worse than the Storm Breath, unfortunately.
1 match left.
Okay.
It's still going here, and it is the one that we were originally going to try to watch.
Okay,
between
perfect.
the Rug Lands and the Mono Blue Vapor Snag deck.
Well, it makes sense that the lands deck is going long.
Yeah, I think so.
What else?
What's been going on over here?
Not too
A
much.
bunch of people talking about guns.
Yeah. Got some gun nuts.
I'm from Tennessee and am more conservative than everyone on this chat's great-grandfathers. That's quite a bold statement.
It's very bold.
I'm from Tennessee, also, and I do not know much about either of my great-grandfathers.
Yeah. I'm not sure I had any, actually, but I probably did.
Your, like, great-grandmothers just, like, came from, like, budding or something, and then somehow, like...
Came from the earth.
They came from the earth,
Yeah.
were impregnated by the earth, and then had your grandparents.
I'm a special guy.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, boy. Let's see. We need to figure out what the next big magic thing we're going to is. Would you want to go to Vegas?
Isn't it limited?
Yeah, Modern Masters.
I
Yeah.
would. When is it?
Like this summer.
I feel I would have to. What is it? Team sealed? What is it?
No, it's individual sealed,
Just-
but with Modern Masters.
I don't even know how you get ready for that.
I don't know. I think if you have any sort of capacity, you'll probably do pretty well. But
I don't know if I have the skill set.
yeah,
Like, I just don't play a lot of limited, especially sealed. Like, it's just, you don't have a
Yeah.
lot of opportunity to practice that
yeah, I'm not a big fan of traveling far for sealed.
for limited tournaments in general. Oh, I guess sealed more is a little, like, more like flip-floppy than just like drafting.
There's more variance.
Right.
in
Like, you can
sealed.
just like you could
Yes.
draft well and still make a good deck. Where it's like if you get a poo-poo bunch of packs.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's probably, like, more so than constructed GPs, it's, like, even more important to have buys there, because, like, you can try to scrape, if you have, like, 2 buys, you can try to scrape out a 5-2 with, you know, a pretty subpar pool.
Right.
But it can be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I would do that. Like if I was gonna go to one like a limited tournament like that, it would be like one of like the team sealed GPs that wasn't that
Yeah.
far away. Like I would do that.
That's Detroit.
Yeah, I would do that.
I do want to go to that GP.
Detroit was a lot of fun when we were there too. We got to
Yeah.
see that sweet street justice.
Crimson Viper, Seattle does have a legacy GP, I think. Well, they're at least calling it GP Seattle. It might be in Tacoma. They might be,
When is it?
it's in, like, November.
Man, I want to go.
Yeah, we have a long I mean, I would do that. I've always wanted to see Seattle. So.
I've been there for like part of a day, 2
Okay.
times. We
So,
left
like,
from.
flying through.
No, we went on an Alaskan cruise that left from there and came back to there.
Well, that's neat. People still talking about guns.
Yeah, man, there's a lot
Sounds
of
great.
guns going on in here.
Yeah.
Greg thinks it's in like.
I think it's late November or Crimson. I'm pretty sure. I'd be curious to see if Legacy has changed much between now and then, because there's only like a handful of high-level Legacy tournaments between now and then, really.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see like, you know, it's one of those things where you would like to see some of the like the stuff that, like World Gorger Dragon, I guess, is the only unban, right?
Yeah.
That was the only unban in Legacy. Like, it'd be cool to see someone break it, like just make it broken. But like, I don't know that you can. Like, there's just hasn't been like, barring like Dragons of Tarkir having something like really crazy in it. Like, we've pretty much seen what's gonna happen with this
With World
Fate
Forger?
Reforged.
Oh,
No,
sure.
just with Fate Reforged.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, it could be that some of the Delve creatures or something like that might make a little bit more of a splash at some point, but
Yeah.
I mean,
There might be like a shell that Tassiger makes more sense in, but I don't know if the payoff's really there in Legacy.
yeah, the issue is that like the shell that I think it goes best in is one where you're churning through a lot of cantrips.
But then
Which
you're
then
only
it's-
getting back a cantrip, so that's not good.
Right. Well, you delve them away, right?
Right, but
The
I mean,
issue
you
is,
can
like-
flip one over.
Right. Like what I'm the
I got a
concern
thought scour.
the concern that I'm like more voicing is that like it seems like it would want to go in Delver, but
Okay.
like you get garbage back half the time, and like
Sure.
you don't like
Good
in Delver
days.
you don't want to have so much land that you can activate them.
Yeah.
Like if you're drawing that many land and playing all of them instead of just holding them to brainstorm away,
Right.
it's like you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. I don't know.
So
Maybe there's some like bug control deck or something.
Tie Bucks, World Order is a different deck than Reanimator. Like you would
Sweet.
what is it?
That's my money.
Like reanimating Grizzlebrand on like turn 1 doesn't win on the spot. It's very good, but it doesn't win on the spot. Like, when you reanimate a World Gorger, you're generally just going to win on the spot. Like, if you have the right deck, you make infinite mana and go off. Like, I'm not saying that the list that I'm testing online right now is the right deck, but it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's the best that we really have to go on at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I trust what Karsten Cotter says about a lot of these Legacy brews.
I think by far the best Legacy writer right now.
Yeah, he's like the only one, really. Like, most of the people that, like, they don't really have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Like, there's like, this is the deck that I played, and this is what I thought about the deck that I played. But,
Yeah.
like, not a lot of people talk about the format on the whole,
Yeah,
or
the
really try to,
evolution.
like do stuff with new cards. Like, you know, obviously, any of the people that are, like strict, like, SCG employees will be like, I played 4 of this new card because SCG wants to sell it. But, like, past that...
Yeah, I mean, Bob Wong writes articles occasionally, or he has in the past for Channel Fireball, and his articles were pretty good. They were mostly like metagame analyses and like looking back, as opposed to Cotter, who's largely talking about
looking forward.
Yeah, at least in a lot of his articles.
I've read some of
which
the
is nice.
Yeah, like the looking back ones, like when they talk about like the strength of like Pross Bloom and stuff like that.
Why not?
They get Stefan all riled up.
Yeah.
You could probably play Tossiger and Maverick, but like the issue is that like he's probably neutering your Knight of the Reliquary if you get him out.
Definitely hurts it, yeah.
But he then
your
could
knight
also mill more lands in.
Yeah, if your knight is living, like, it could be okay there as probably a one of. You probably can't afford to play more than one. It's not a terrible idea though.
There was one match still going.
That's the kind of deck, though, where the activation could be really good.
Definitely, because, I mean, they can't make you take the lands, which means that once you get them going, like, you could conceivably make your knight pretty big.
Yeah, and you don't have stuff like Daze, you know, like little crappy instants and sorceries to get back. You have, like, other knights and, like, Stoneforge Mystic and Jitte.
If I put a Tossiger in World Gorger combo, you could then mill almost your entire deck and basically just get all of it.
Sounds great.
Infinite mana.
Yeah, that's something.
I'm just saying. You got a lot of blue. You can play him.
Yeah. We got some Travis Wu love and hate in the comments right now. Well, I haven't really seen Travis write about Legacy much though. We were really talking about specifically Legacy writers at the moment. In the past, like, Jerry Thompson has written more about Legacy, but I think he just doesn't have as much reason to anymore,
because you don't get to play it every week.
Yeah, like, now there's a lot more incentive to just be a standard master.
Yeah, I mean, and it seems like that's what, like, Wizards wants overall.
Right.
And everyone's playing into it. I mean, just, like, one big wiener smack. Like, just, like, Rhino. Uh-oh, Ugin, bigger wiener. Game over. Like,
yeah,
that's most of it.
Standards, I mean,
that's like, there are some like techie plays you can make. Obviously, there is like 1 or 2 control decks.
Right.
But like in general, it's just like who can play the bigger thing that wins the game.
The decks at the moment are probably lacking a bit in personality or like uniqueness because they're kind of all just like different scales of mid-range. You know. Like, even red-white aggro is playing, like, 24 lands. You know? Right. It's not really an aggro deck if it's playing 4 Stormbreath Dragon.
But that's what they want. I mean, that's why they keep making all of these, like, 4 and 5 mana planeswalkers that just, like, win the game if you can't beat them.
Oh, that is an oversight, actually, when we were talking about Legacy writers. Caleb Jordan actually does write some really good stuff.
Yeah, my issue is that, like, I never look at Channel Fireball because it's blocked at work. I just can't look at it. That's the only place I read articles is at work. And
Star City isn't blocked?
No, Star City's not blocked. They don't know about weird. Star City. But, like,
so
Facebook's
weird.
not blocked. I mean, it's like...
That's random.
They just block all the things that the powers that be don't want you to look at, but they don't know about all of them. Although I don't know why they would know about Channel Fireball.
Maybe they're Star City fans.
Maybe.
Maybe they're John Finkel fans. I don't know.
It's so cold, though.
Or I guess he's on Channel Fireball now. Never mind. I was so sad when Finkel got knocked out of top 8.
By that slaughter pact?
That
oh,
was
man.
sick.
For those of you that may not have seen, he was about to one-shot Sam Black. He had probed him like the turn before.
He saw the
He
closest
knew his
clear.
hand, and he went to 10 him with Infect, and then Sam Black had just top-decked a slaughter pact and just kind of went,
Yeah, and had the black mana required to pay for it.
Yeah.
He had 2 lands in play. One was a double land, and one was a black source. It was...
Yeah.
That was gross.
That was bad.
But
Bitty bad.
yeah, I mean Finkel definitely did the right thing.
Yeah, I mean he knew
had
that he had a window, barring him drawing like exactly that card.
There's one card in 75. Like he had no other card in his whole deck or sideboard that saves him.
Right.
It's crazy.
Finkel came in like in the teens.
He got 10th
Yeah.
on breakers. The person who got 8th had the same record as him, but a lot of people went 12 and 4.
Yeah.
But I thought their deck was actually really cool. They were playing 4.
Man, people hit that camera nonstop.
They were playing 4 Become Immense. You know?
I still have so many quick elements.
Yeah. It was sweet. Petrunkin says John Finkel beat me in a Pro Tour because he drafted Flame Blast Dragon, Sun Titan, and Angelic Destiny and got them all into play together. That sounds like a great story. Well, that is a great story by itself. But, jeez. Yeah, that's gross. Angelic Destiny is a beating. Sun Titan's a beating. Flame Blast Dragon's pretty good. But yeah, I would not want to play against John Finkel in Limited. Although he's done very well in Constructed lately because he's on a really competent team. But his limited fundamentals are kind of just second to none.
Does it look?
That's fine.
It's,
all right.
It's Peter versus Simon.
Okay. All right. So it looks like we have a match for round 4. Do you think these guys are 2-1?
Peter's undefeated.
Ooh.
Well, no, I guess Simon got a pair up. I'm not 100%.
Was Peter playing?
Like Esper Control.
Oh, so I guess he beat. Can you tell me if I'm spelling this wrong? Stop. Is that how you spell Costopoulos? Or is there an extra U that I'm missing? Oh,
Costopoulos.
Oh, poop.
Costopoulos.
Yeah. Flipping around all the vowels. Okay. So is this like a pair down?
Yeah,
Because
I think so.
You think Simon is 2-1?
I would assume.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna put up their records.
Records, yes.
And start the timer. We need more mouses.
Yeah.
So we can just both do
We
things.
need 2 mice. Oh crap. Sorry.
Chrono up! Don't have a shortcut assigned.
My bad.
There you go.
Alright. We don't really know what's in Peter's deck, do we?
Supreme Verdict and Back to Basics.
Ugh.
It's running like 4 Back to Basics.
What? Why?
I don't know. I think it's Nathan's deck and he's loaning it to him.
Okay. That sounds gross.
Just pull up Argothi and Enchantress.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna do. This is the fun card in the matchup. Whoa. Alright.
Cool.
Let's go down to the table.
Yeah, let's get to the table. Hopefully they're starting soon. Here we go. And it looks like Simon won the die roll and he's going with a Utopia Sproul. But what color will it be?
I think they always name, well, most of the time they're gonna name white, right?
Yeah.
Or green, maybe.
Yeah, I don't even know.
We'll see.
He normally uses his little slips to let us know what color the Utopia Sproul is.
Yeah, what a jerk. Alright, 3 mana. He has 1 floating. I think he does that so he can have a green floating.
He wants to cast a spell.
So yeah. So he is deciding to force this.
His hand has a bunch of lands and a D-sphere in it.
The follow-up there was Mary's. Nope. That is...
That's a wild growth, I think.
Is it?
Yeah. I believe that's a
just
wild
foreign.
growth. Yeah. A lot of the cards in his deck are Spanish for some reason.
What a jerk. It's making this hard.
Wait, what? There was a raffle?
Everyone's asking if there's a raffle tonight. There actually isn't one.
No.
Everyone, sorry to disappoint.
No, I believe those are only a card market, aren't they?
They're occasionally here, but Mark has to talk to the owners about securing one.
Sure.
And I think Mark was really busy this week with having to go to the dentist kind of last minute. And
Right. Get his face chopped off.
yeah, pretty much.
So if Peter plays this back to basics in his hand, he is going to be setting Simon back roughly the same number of lands as he's setting himself back.
HC asks why isn't using Sarah's Sanctuary? Do you mean Sarah's Sanctum? The land?
He does play Sarah's Sanctum.
Yeah.
Sarah's Sanctuary?
Not familiar with Sarah's Sanctuary.
I think it's possessive.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have never noticed that.
So, looks like Simon didn't cast a spell? Oh, no. What? How does he have so many lands out?
He only has 3.
He has 4.
Does he?
His opponent does. Peter does.
Oh, so Simon must have missed a land drop.
He must have missed a land drop and cast no spells. Weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's staring at an elephant grass, which isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
If he's playing against a control deck, a lot of his enchantments don't really do much, and he'd probably rather wait till he was able to stick a Enchantress effect to actually get them to do something.
Yeah.
He really needed that Argothian to resolve, basically.
Yeah, I hear you. And it looks like Peter's holding up a counterspell.
Yeah, and he probably will until Simon draws something that says Enchantress on it.
Yes.
Very nice, basic, plain.
I think you just. I would if it were me in Peter's shoes here. Yeah, I put that explosives on 1 and pop it.
Yeah, doesn't seem bad.
I mean, it's like no reason not to.
Has he played 2 lands this turn? Maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
I guess Simon just passed back, right? There's a turn cycle there. It doesn't look like he has a batter skull, so that's some amount of pressure.
You just go ahead and pop that, yeah.
Yeah,
this
just
is
throwing it
looking
on
bad
1.
for Simon here.
It does. I mean, Peter doesn't have real pressure just yet. What is this? Alright. A little more mana. Just not actually getting anywhere off of it. It's probably going to be... So, is he going to batter skull, or does he really, really want to commit to holding up counterspell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, just passes the turn back. And that's kind of paying off for him, right? Because Simon would have, if this had resolved, he was going to be able to go get Enchantress's presence.
Yeah, but he's still got the counterspell.
That's true. So maybe you just make him do it. Because it just tutors and puts it in your hand, right?
Top of your library.
Top of your library? That's even worse.
Peter's not interested in letting him try.
Yeah. So he draws the land now, but he already let go of the counterspell.
We know that Simon has a...
Trigger on the
Peter
batter
needs
skull.
to keep his lands away from his graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's got an elephant grass, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that Batterskull just can't attack for a while if he
Right.
gets it.
Seems like that's why he's... No. It's Banishing Light.
Banishing Light
Gonna
on
go after
the
the
Batterskull.
Pretty sweet.
But Peter has a detention sphere
He
for
does.
the Banishing Light.
It does get around.
Hopefully then Simon can get an Oblivion Ring for the detention sphere to get the Banishing Light to get the Batterskull.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah. This is how it goes. This is how Wizards drew this up. these cards were designed with all this in mind. This is an Enchantress's present, though.
That's,
and he made him use the D sphere on something that wasn't,
And Peter's
really
got a
ideal.
misdirection in his hand.
Draw a card off of the Wild Growth. Was that another Enchantress's presence? Oof.
Yeah, it was.
This is Elephant Grass.
Elephant Grass will not let your Batterskull token attack at all.
Yeah. And passing the turn back.
Peter may decide to go ahead and fire off the back to basics here.
It's not that great, though.
Just to get the plateau.
Yeah, it hurts himself almost more than Simon.
The tough part here is that, like, these Supreme Verdicts are very bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they can kill exactly Enchantress. And
Yes.
that's it.
Enchantress's presence is great here.
Yeah.
Especially that the Detention Sphere is out of Peter's hand.
Yes. Yeah. Being able to draw out the Detention Sphere was a big deal.
Yep. And Batterskull's not even going to do anything here.
Can't attack so long as Simon keeps paying for it, but he may not even have to.
Yeah.
What is...
So we can hear the
Peter's-
ceiling squeaking above us. It's because Peter's foot is rocking on the ground directly above our heads. It's a great basement we got here. All right, and this is a Lingering Souls. So this can get
That's
around.
gonna drive me insane.
Yeah. All right. So Simon paying the cumulative upkeep on Elephant Grass here. Adding to the board. Looks like another presence.
Enchantress's presence, triggering to draw a card.
Another Detention Sphere would be really, really good here.
Yes. Hopefully he's not running very many.
Draw 2. That's a Sarah's Sanctum. That's a lot of mana. Yep.
That's if there
This is
I think
6
he
mana.
I think he put back the back to basics.
Draw 2.
I think he put back the back to basics and shuffled it away.
Yeah. I mean, the Sarah's Sanctum is nice here, but it's not really necessary. Peter is brainstorming in response to solitary confinement, hoping to find a Force of Will.
He found
He found a counterspell.
counterspell and
that'll do
misdirection.
it.
You got to put cards back before you can cast those spells.
Yes. He's going to probably counterspell this solitary confinement.
But I think you're okay with
He
that.
still is drawing 2 cards off of it, though.
All right. So Simon should have some more mana floating.
Yeah, he added 6 before.
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So he has 3
used
white.
3, presumably 3 white left. Yeah. And this is 5 mana now for Sigil of the Empty Throne. Draw 2 cards. Yeah.
Baited.
That seems good against Supreme Verdict.
The old bait and switch.
I like Simon playing Sigil. That card seems really,
Oh,
really
it's very good.
Oh, man.
So this is a tough one.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
this
gonna be
seems
able
like-
to pay for that elephant grass for a long
It seems like a very
time.
bad spot for Peter. This is 5 mana. He's moving Batterskull over, getting rid of the black creature.
You gotta pay, bro.
Yeah. He has to pay 1 for each attacker. Is that right?
I think it's 2.
2 for each. Oh, so it's just the Batterskull.
I think
coming
just the
across.
Batterskull one's going.
So
Yeah.
that was 5 damage.
He's just gonna let that die.
Yeah.
And Peter goes to 21. I think that these angels will start to be pretty overwhelming here, though. So we got a
Yeah.
trigger to make an angel and then draw 2 cards.
He might have. Peter might have to fire off Supreme Verdict at some point just to try to stem the bleeding, but the problem
Even
is
then, it's-
with the Enchantress effects in play. Like Simon's not running out of gas ever.
Yeah. Sam's got to make sure he doesn't draw his deck.
The game should end before that. He only has 2 presents in play. Like if he had like 4 in play, then
Yeah.
that could be a problem.
I could see that.
He's adding a bunch more mana. He hasn't even tapped the Oh, now he does.
No, he does.
It is 9 mana off of the Sanctum.
Do you think he found the Sphere of Safety? No.
No, that would be good too, though. This is basically the can't fail portion of the game for Simon here. He's gonna have to discard a lot of cards. He has a lot of sigils. 4/4 Angels, rather. Peter does have that Supreme Verdict, I think, still in his hand, though.
Yeah.
He's going to have to cast that.
But the Sphere of Safety is going to make him not able to win.
Yeah. This game really just came down to that Detention Sphere.
Yeah. Being able to bait out that Detention Sphere and bait out the counter spells for that matter.
Yeah, the game just kind of played out in a sequence for Peter that was... It made it... I don't think anyone was really going to, like, save the Detention Sphere, necessarily. Because, like, he did need a clock. He didn't have the Lingering Souls when he played the Detention Sphere. It seemed like he had to get Batterskull back somehow.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, he just can't attack.
Oh, no.
I mean, it is 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5...
The only way Peter can really win the
3,
game, I think,
4,
at this
5,
point, is
6,
probably
7, 8,
Jace.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He has to pay 13 for each creature attacking him.
That's a lot. You can pull up Sphere of Safety here.
But like even a Jace is likely not going to work.
Yeah, it would have to be Jace's... Jason then...
No,
Supreme...
Jace doesn't work because you can't target him.
Oh, God, that's gross. Yeah, this might be the concession portion of the game.
Yeah, I mean...
So he does Wrath here.
I don't know if it
Problem is
matters.
Simon's just going to churn... He's just going to create lethal attackers again.
This is the point where I'm really wondering whether or not Simon is still running... whether or not Simon is running... Words of War in his deck somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, he still has the Plateau, so presumably he is playing it, because, like, why would he need red mana, really, other than, like, Blood Moon, then?
Yeah.
He probably has 1 Sigil and 1 Words of War.
Yeah.
Yeah, TX comments GG in the chat, and I would definitely agree with that. It's just a matter of time. Probably...
Very soon.
I want to say next turn, but...
Where's his angel?
Uh,
Make your angels.
yeah,
He probably doesn't care.
might
I think
have
this is.
forgotten.
I think this is showing us that he has Words of War.
Oh, yeah, he does have Words of War. He's adding, jeez, a lot of mana. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Just
9,
some inordinately
10,
large
11.
amount.
That was 12 mana right there.
There's Words of War.
He has 9 floating. So now every time he would draw a card, he can pay 1 to turn that draw into a shock. And if he has enough cards left in his deck and all these Enchantress effects, he's going to just be able to start nugging Peter's face.
Oh, and he's drawing 4 per. So.
Yeah, he is gonna have to be careful not to deck himself.
Well, he's not
He-
drawing cards.
So is this? Oh, you're right.
So when he casts
This
these
is
effects,
one-
he's able to just convert that mana.
So he's already shocked him once, I believe, 2 times. So Peter should be at 17.
No, more than that. When he cast that Enchantress's Presence, he drew 3 cards and turned all of them into damage. I think this is going to be very hard for us to track.
Oh, you're right.
The actual
Yeah.
damage.
Oh,
here.
this is another Sarah Sanctum. Thank you, new legend rule.
And so now he's drawing 5.
This is another 10 damage then.
Yeah, I mean, Peter's just dead.
Yeah, Peter's probably dead right now.
He tapped it a lot of times.
Yeah. So it seems like Peter's at what, 5 life?
He's explaining to him
If
that he's
that.
dead. Yeah. I mean, he's got to be dead. I mean, you know when Simon's not even making his angels tokens?
Yeah. That.
No, the Raveburn, that is not a May. You have to draw.
Yeah. Can Simon finish him off right here?
I assume he has a lot of mana.
I think he's actually being forced to count it all up. Okay, now Peter concedes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, from that spot, Enchantress really can't lose in that sort of game. I would feel comfortable conceding myself right there.
Words of War wins faster, but Words of Bear is just more awesome. What is Words of Bear actually called? Words of Wilding?
There you go.
There you go.
It's sweet art.
Could be playing Words of Bear.
Yep. It's just like a Suspend 1 version of Words of War.
Yeah. Basically the same thing, but you can block.
Yeah. And attack. It's great. Oh boy.
So, interested to see how this works out here. I don't know that Peter has enough ways to win quickly enough. Like, his swords are dead. His back to basics are pretty much dead, but I think he has to keep them in. Maybe not,
Right.
though. I don't even know what you want here. Like, do you leave in Supreme Verdict? It kills...
Yeah.
It
kills Argothian Enchantress.
Right, like, I feel like he's just not going to have enough stuff to leave in.
It's just it's basically he has to keep Enchantress effects off the table. He just
Correct.
has to. However, he can manage it. He needs to do that, or he's just gonna get buried. Because, I mean, he's not playing a fast deck, and he needs to get some sort of clock into play and just really keep Simon off of his
Just
plan.
force everything.
I mean,
I've had Peter do that to me before.
stuff like engineered explosives is great.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Oh, EE is great, especially if you're running. You know, if you've got the
Academy
runs.
Yeah, it's terrific.
It's like you can't lose.
Tainted Angel. We are unfortunately not doing a raffle tonight. Actually, Mark has been super busy this week and hasn't had a chance to confer with Dice Dojo, so we haven't been able to secure a giveaway. They will be coming back soon, though. Maybe Thursday, maybe next week. Mark himself is probably not going to be on the stream on Thursday, but he should be back next Monday. He's had to have some emergency dental work done, I think, tomorrow. And he's also super busy at his day job. So, real life happens, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I guess. These players, though, here are moving to Game 2 in our final round tonight, Round 4. Simon is probably actually fighting for first place here because
Yeah, I
he
think
might he might pass Peter on breakers by beating him.
if Peter's the only exo,
Yeah.
and Simon knocks him out, then yeah, he should beat him.
Yeah, I mean, breaker math isn't always perfect because like weird things can happen, but getting paired up here is definitely it is good for Simon's breakers.
Do you know that? Is it APOM?
What? What's APOM?
APOM. I know, I'm doing that on purpose.
Oh.
Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I think it is. His tokens.
Yeah, we're looking at this guy right here.
Yeah, I think that's Simon's.
This is Simon's token.
Yeah.
APOM.
Not sure what set his specific cards are from. He's a couple generations behind my Pokemon knowledge.
Yeah, or ahead of, behind.
Sure, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I really just know the originals. I know a few of the second generation, but not many.
I've learned some of them. I use Togekiss for my Miracles Angels.
Yeah. I mean, Nick uses Chanseys. I can dig that.
Togekiss, they just look like crazy little airplanes, though.
Yeah.
They're so good. Also, I'm pretty sure it's colder in this basement than it is outside right
Well,
now.
there's no wind, but it is about 10 degrees in here. It's also a function of, like, you're sitting still for 4 hours, so
Yep.
body...
It's like half a day's work right here.
Yeah, it's great. Looks like a quick mulligan from Peter.
Quick mulligan from
I
Peter.
think I saw Swords to Plowshares was still in his deck.
Did I see Siege Rhino? Why do I see Siege Rhino? Where did I see
think
that
you're
card?
making that one up, but looks
Yeah,
like
right.
Simon's keeping here. Really, this matchup just seems pretty bad for Peter overall, as Simon makes a smiley face pointed at Peter, which is probably a little tongue-in-cheek because Peter is probably very clearly not happy with this matchup. I wouldn't be.
Simon also really likes making that smiley face as an opponent.
Right.
At his opponent, rather.
Yeah, he does a lot with Zoo. Then he plays 3 Wild Nacatls with Jagoff.
Let's get into this game. Come on, Petey.
Yeah. I can't imagine it being too long. Well, I guess it really all comes down to sticking Enchantress's presence.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Because it does seem like the Supreme Verdict should still be in the deck. Alright, so we got Lingering Souls, some land, Stoneforge,
A
Fluster.
Flusterstorm?
That's fine.
What? Why?
Oh, instants and sorcery. Oh yeah, it doesn't do anything.
It counters almost nothing. in Simon's deck.
Counters replenish.
It counters replenish, exactly. No, yeah, the Flusterstorm, I don't think there's any good argument to be made
the
for that
problem
one.
is he probably just doesn't have enough good. Like, probably doesn't have 60 good cards here.
I think that land is better than Flusterstorm.
Yeah, but he doesn't have more lands to board in.
I mean, you can leave in the main board cards, right? Like,
Well, he has a lot of bad main deck cards.
yeah, but you could leave those bad cards in, and they're probably better than Flusterstorm. Like, realistically, I think that like he took out some number of Back to Basics. I think Back to Basics is better than Flusterstorm.
It might be. I mean, it's pretty damn bad, but.
Like, it's not great, but like Simon has some pretty high impact lands.
All right, this is a quick Ergothine Enchantress here.
Can't Flusterstorm the creature.
Also, he doesn't have mana up. This looks like a wild.
I hope that he didn't
drawing
take
card.
his Force of Wills out.
I don't know why he would do that.
I mean, I don't know why he would, but we never know.
Looks like Peter will be activating Stoneforge at the end of the turn here, putting.
Why does Moobot keep saying it's adding people to the raffle?
I don't know.
We didn't start a raffle. Has there just been a raffle going for like a long time?
Yeah.
I must look at this. Wait, is the raffle... There's a raffle open right now? Closed. There is no raffle. I think that's why people are asking.
Oh.
I think there was an open raffle like the whole time.
Which is always open. Oops.
No, someone clicked it.
Oh. Maybe I did it.
No, it's February 5th. Whoever the last people to stream were, or
They
whoever
opened-
streamed on February
they
5th, they
opened a
left a
raffle.
raffle open.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, we didn't do this, did we? All right, so we get an Enchantress's Presence that's coming into play over here. We got 2 fetch lands on Peter's side of things, so let's go ahead and get him down to 18.
Looks like Batterskull actually also connected.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
So he went down and then up.
Yeah, he took 4 off the skull.
So he's at 22. And Simon's at
15, presumably.
15.
City of Solitude.
City of Solitude. That's a reader right there. City
I
of
love the art on that card. It looks so cool.
City of Solitude's pretty cool. Like, it affects so much stuff. Like, the card is very unique in that way. Is each player may only play spells and abilities during their turn. So it's like you can't activate lands, you can't fetch at the end of turn, nothing. You do nothing on your opponent's turn.
Really, and there's the Elephant Grass from Simon. This is going to turn off the Batterskull. I mean, Peter can move equipment over to Stoneforge, but it's only a matter of time until Simon can deal with Stoneforge.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty here is I think that Simon's probably also, because, I mean, he's got 2 Enchantress effects, he's going to pretty quickly set up the
Sphere of Safety.
Sphere of Safety or
Oh,
the
yeah,
solitary confinement.
sure.
Like, either one of those is going to put a pretty quick end to this.
Yeah, I mean, Peter has 5 lands here. He can move Batterskull over, or he's just going to cast Lingering Souls and maybe flash it back. Or he can move the Jitte over to Stoneforge and still attack.
He can't attack. He can't pay for
Alright,
it.
he won't be able to pay. Jeez. Fetching. He might think that he will be able to.
Yeah, I'm thinking he thinks he can.
Yeah, 'cause he's looking to move the
And,
Jits.
well, I mean, unless he just wants to get it done now. I mean, he can't fetch. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter.
he already
but
played a
can't.
land. I mean, he's not playing spells on Simon's turn.
No, he's not. He's not fetching lands either.
Yeah. Might as well use his mana. He can also flash back Lingering Souls.
But that's not good.
It's
In the face of a soft permission to attack
Yeah.
spell.
Oh, he's activating Stoneforge.
Nope, he's trying to attack. Oh, he's
Okay.
paying to attack.
With what?
I don't know.
No, I don't think we know what he's doing just yet.
I know that he tapped 2 land and then turned that thing sideways.
Yeah, so
He's equipping.
He's moving it over. And he's not attacking. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Simon paying the upkeep
No.
on Elephant Grass, or is he letting it die?
He resolves Miri's Guile first
Ah,
to
sure.
look at the top cards and then decide whether or not he wants to pay.
Guess he didn't like the top, so
Choke on top.
yeah, that seems okay.
You will never attack, sir. Oh no.
Yeah, this is looking pretty grim for Peter.
Oh no. Lingering Souls looks so bad.
I kind of like Enchantress.
It's neat. It's not the best though.
Yeah. It does some things not that dissimilar to my beloved Death and Taxes, but
in a worse way.
yeah, D&T is just more aggressive. I don't know.
Like I think
Doesn't need as
that
much setup.
Enchantress like loses a lot harder to things like Abrupt Decay.
Or like Storm.
Yes. Yes, that.
Yeah.
Although I think that if you have turn 0 Leyline of Sanctity, then,
Alright, sure. Then they then they empty the warrens.
Oh, he had 2 planes.
Okay. That does something, but
He swung. Did he? Okay.
so it looks like just a an attack
Just
for
just one. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, our life total should still be correct here.
Yeah, that's a sigil. Also, he has Words of War in hand. He only has 2 Enchantress effects at the moment, but Peter is pretty limited here on just what he's going to be able to accomplish with his attacks. Also, I mean, if he just simply builds up counters on Jitte, Simon can maybe just like throw Argoth the Enchantress in front, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's going to happen here is he is going to. Oh God, is he going to replenish? Oh
It's a shame
God.
that Peter can't Flusterstorm that.
Well, those islands are very
Yeah.
definitively tapped.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah.
Simon fetching.
I think
here.
the one card that that it is away from being busted with is Earthcraft. I think Earthcraft is what Enchantress wants, but cannot have.
Would it be that good?
Well, you can tap your Enchantress to untap a forest that has like 1,000,000 mana enchantments on it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty good. It ramps you really quick.
Yeah, and you could also just randomly play a Squirrel Nest.
I think you also play Squirrel Nest, yeah. So you can just infinite people.
I'd really like it if they should have unbanned Earthcraft. I might get dumb, but
But let's find out, right?
I would like more non-blue combo decks. You know,
Yeah.
like
So-
I do like that Elves exists. You know, it gives some variety. Not as many decks play Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Like day 2 of Indie, because of the resurgence of Elves and also
God, there was so much else.
yeah, but also like just Death and Taxes being pretty popular. Like they said like just slightly over 50% of the field was playing Brainstorm.
Yeah, I
Which
saw
is
that.
way
I saw that.
healthier than before.
Well, yeah. I mean, Treasure Cruise was an unfair card.
Yeah.
So Simon's doing his thing over here. He's made 3 angels and drawn a bunch of cards, and I think now he has to discard down.
Yeah. It's gonna keep replenishing his hand, of course, though.
Well, of course you would.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like if they unbanned Earthcraft, it would be a more significant unbanning probably than World Gorger.
Oh, 100%. I think that the combo, the 2-card combo is just very easy to find.
Right. It is disruptible in lots of different ways, but and it's also like you have to resolve a 2 mana and 3 mana green spell, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like
That also can get Abrupt Decayed to break it up.
you can do things with it in Allurin too to make infinite mana.
Why not?
You just play a Cavern Harpy, tap the Cavern Harpy, untap your land, bounce the Cavern Harpy, cast the Cavern Harpy, infinite mana.
Yeah. I think
I would rather see Survival unbanned than
Well, I think
Earthcraft.
I think that might be more dangerous.
I think Survival would be earth shattering.
Yeah.
I mean, it would mean that green tempo decks got to play.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if we've seen any attacks or anything here.
I don't think yet. Peter did find an island. It seems like Peter's trying to best figure out what to do with his precious mana at this point. Since Choke is putting a hurting on him, in addition to Simon's other various enchantments.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like Peter needs to draw into... So, move to blocks?
Is he activating?
No, he's attacking.
Okay,
And he said, I'll block it.
sure.
You gonna pump it? You gonna make it live? You gonna make it live, boy? Boy?
Okay. So yeah, you pump the Stoneforge twice.
You can do it faster than that.
Yeah.
Simon can't respond. I
Letting
mean, he
them-
cannot do anything.
Right.
He has...
And then Stoneforge goes back up to 4 counters, right? Yeah, Simon couldn't afford really to let that go through unblocked there, just because the amount of counters that were already on the JIT were a little concerning. But Simon lets the Elephant Grass go away here, actually.
Yeah, I think that he's setting up for a pretty big turn. And that
Yeah.
he's just going to have so many angels that can block here.
Yeah. I don't think this is a Words of War turn. I think it's just a go crazy with Sigil turn.
I think he is putting his draw trigger on the stack here, and he's finding Stony Silence.
Okay.
No more activating that JIT,
Yeah.
and you
so-
can't say anything about it.
Well, in response to it coming into play, Peter can...
No, he cannot
gain-
respond.
Oh, right, because of
He
Sidious
cannot
Solitude.
do anything.
That's disgusting. Well, that's really unfortunate for Peter.
Yes. There's a lot of really unfortunate stuff right now.
Alright, 2 of these angels are able to attack at some point in time. So I'm going to draw a couple more cards. He also has the Words of War just in hand. He's just electing not to go down that path.
Yeah, I don't think he has
There's
the...
much reason to.
Well, he doesn't have... I don't think he has the requisite number of draw triggers to make it really worth it.
Sure.
On top of the fact that he also doesn't have a Surah Sanctum right now.
Might be in hand?
Maybe.
Where did it go? I thought he had one.
City of Solitude.
See a solitary confinement come down, just
And now Simon going for
Mana Bloom.
Mana Bloom.
Mana Bloom is kind of neat in this
The
deck.
old reliable. Well, it just is such a good combo with Solitary Confinement.
Yeah, it's just every turn. Basically a combo just by themselves.
Is that Peter yelling?
I don't know.
I feel like it was Peter yelling.
Who knows? No, I think that's D&D people.
Probably. Oh my god!
Yeah. That's a lot of land that Simon just showed us.
That's what he was discarding.
Yeah.
No. Let's just show the card that really matters a lot here.
Alright, Mana Bloom returning. Jeez. Good grief. So yeah, he had discard for Solitary Confinement.
And you're dead?
Piling in with a lot of angels. Yeah, and that's a concession from
Woo! Man, that was pretty good. That's pretty good there.
Peter. Alright, so likely that's going to mean that Simon gets first place on Breakers. That's not a 100% surety, but
He should, in theory.
in theory.
He beat Burn.
He beat Burn.
Yeah, Bobby H97, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, everyone...
You should
if,
replenish first for the Winmores.
Definitely. And for style.
Yes, style points, obviously.
If anyone was new to the stream tonight and you guys liked what you saw and you want to watch more Legacy, you can watch us on Monday nights, 7 p.m. We come from Dice Dojo in Chicago. Thursday nights we broadcast at 7:30 from MTG Card Market, also in Chicago. Wednesdays we show Modern, also from MTG Card Market. That's at 7:30 as well, with different broadcast team. So Modern's probably gonna shake up some after the Pro Tour. So I might tune in myself actually on Wednesday to see what's going on locally. And again, if you like what you saw tonight, please follow us here on Twitch. We're also on Facebook under Wooberg XYZ.
We're also on Twitter.
YouTube.
YouTube has all the recordings of all the tournaments that
Yes.
we've done in the past. So if you're interested in seeing a little bit about what the meta here in Chicago looks like at our more downtown focus or area stores, feel free to check out the videos online. They're all there,
Right.
with commentary.
Yeah. And if anyone is not that far away, we've had people drive from Indiana. We've had people drive from the Chicago suburbs to come play some night. And I mean, if people from this stream, like, they show up and they tell us they're from the stream,
We'll get you on.
Yeah, we try to put you on camera because everyone likes to watch themselves, right?
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, definitely reach out to us if you're in the area or if you're going to the tournaments that we mentioned on here. Because I know when we were at the Star City Open in Indianapolis, I ran into several people who knew the stream.
Yeah.
And
I did too,
They had a lot to say.
Yeah. All good.
Thank
Definitely
you,
all good.
Patrunkin Fat and JDun934 for the follows. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you guys. I think we covered basically all the bases. I don't believe we're gonna have another game on camera.
There's not a ton of
tonight.
time left for
Yeah.
the.
It's also the end of round 4, so just kind of winding down for the night. So I think that's gonna wrap us up for today.
That's Stefan. Don't worry.
Yeah. Anything that Kasali Pride Mage tells you, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we're not ignoring him in a
Well,
mean way.
Just we're ignoring him because we know that we should. To get here from Evanston, I think you need a flying carpet, and you take a left at the Magic Dragon. We have Mark McManus, our lovely benefactor, joining us. We're just wrapping things up. Just went through all of the
I'll go ahead and tell you right now, HC Fox, that Mark McManus will give you the shirt off his back if you see him at an open.
It's really cold
Wait,
here, though.
Off the back when we meet you at. Sure.
Yep. He's going to do
Alright.
it, and he'll play the rest of the tournament with no shirt on.
Yeah.
That I won't promise.
No, I'm promising now for him.
I'm gonna just waggle my dong at the camera.
That's great. You're gonna have to bring some extra Wooberg XYZ t-shirts. Sadly, I'm not wearing
I had a
mine.
whole box. Nobody asked me
Had?
for one.
What'd you do with them?
I got one.
What'd you do with them?
Oh, at the Indy. I'm just gonna at Indy.
Yeah.
Everybody that came up, nobody asked me for
You
one.
gotta start raffling off those shirts.
I did. I'm just 2 weeks behind shipping shit out.
Been busy.
You gotta start
Yeah.
doing 7 raffles per night.
I don't know about that.
There was a good amount of commotion for raffles.
But just make sure that everyone knows that 6 of the raffles are local pickup only. Must come get it
Yes.
tonight.
Good.
You have to drive here.
Tonight
Yeah.
and be here before the end of the stream.
Be here
Yeah.
before the end of the stream, but you must also prove that you are continuing to watch the stream by commenting in chat every 10 or so seconds.
So hiring a cab.
Hiring a cab
You-
or being
Very
just living
dangerous.
dangerously.
You better have a phone.
Oh my god.
Crimson
Ah.
Viper, of course, wants a Wooberg t-shirt.
Yeah, and this is a Totoro jacket. Yeah,
Yes.
my wife made it for me. She's very kind. All right, but yeah, I'm done. So
Yeah.
you guys wrap up, and then
Yeah, I think
I
we're
gotta
gonna
start packing up.
We're gonna call this one
We're good?
tonight.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Once again, remember you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah.
Twitch here. Follow us
Follow.
here. And we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.